just really made me be very, I don't know if the concerned is the right word. I guess maybe confused. I think confused is the better word. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Miss Cerise? I saw a video of a black woman. She was like, black women, now's the time for us to jump ship from black men and get to the white man because, white men love us and appreciate us. And, I was just concerned about that because I'm like, huh? Like, I don't know. Like, hopefully I can get some black women up here. That way I can ask like a real choice about like, how do you come to that conclusion? Truthfully. And it's not saying that, yeah, I don't even want to give away my thoughts, to be honest with you, because I want black women to feel comfortable enough to express themselves. Hey, how you doing, Whitney? But let me see. Somebody just requested, is that Amadaju? Let me know if I mispronounced your name.
Amada Jew, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I was just reading the prompt, excuse me. And I would just like to say that black women are protected more by black men than anybody else. Black men are for black women are for black men.
Okay. Do you think that black women are for black men? Do you think that is reflected in society and black men's choices and the things that they say online?
It's reflected in society that sometimes the empty barrel make the most noise. So there's a lot of people that disgruntled who make more noise than people who actually are content. A lot of people who are content don't rush to social media to talk about, hey, you know what, I got a great woman, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, but not all the time. But when people are frustrated, it's just like when it comes to if you go up somewhere to eat out and you have a great time, you might not leave a comment. But if you have a terrible time, you're gonna go in there and leave a bad comment. Don't ever go to this restaurant. I think that's what's really going on.
Okay. And I agree with that. The analogy that you use, but let me ask you a question. What do you say when you look at the statistics that like black women are 6 times more likely to be like unalived? Am I skipping y'all by black men than a white woman is by white men? Miss Get 'em girl, y'all probably have to keep liking alive because I don't know. Sorry, I accidentally clicked that. I don't know who's reporting it. That's probably what it is, but I don't even see anyone in here. I see a user though, so maybe I blocked this user 102. But yeah, go ahead, sir.
I have to look at the statistics. I never heard of black women are more unalive by black men than white women are from white men.
Yes, it's like 6 times more likely. Black women are the most unalived in the United States, even though they are like one of the smallest percentages.
By black men, you said?
By black men, yes. 95% of the time and up, it's a black man unaliving a black woman. I think black women, if I'm not mistaken, make up like 14% of the collective of women here in the United States and make up like almost 60% of the unalivings of women here in the United
You
States.
said they make up 6% of the unaliving of women?
60% of the unalivings of women. Yes,
Okay.
the
I have to
majority.
look at those numbers because a lot of times numbers are skewed because we know that.
No, they're not skewed. There's a black femicide problem. There's so many different articles. You can go to the DOJ, you can go to FBI.gov, and it says that these numbers are actually real of black women being unalived.
Okay, I
Absolutely.
like to look at that because I know white T men are more likely to be in domestic abuse than black men. So I have to see how that number correlates. And if you're saying that black
Yeah.
men
Yeah,
are
look it up. I implore you to look it up. And because it's absolutely true. So you can just
okay,
look it up. You can look it up and come back if you want. Then we can
I
talk about what
appreciate
you
it. Yeah,
find.
yeah, definitely. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Appreciate you for coming up. But once again, you guys, as a black woman, hopefully I can get some black women up here. Um, as a black woman, if you guys keep liking the live and more people come in here, hopefully the skipping will stop because it's probably somebody just hating, like as usual. I don't know. So let me know if you guys still hear it skipping. If y'all can like try to get the likes up to like 10K, hopefully that will buffer it. But anywho, my question is once again, if you're a black woman, hopefully, and you think this way, I would love to hear your thoughts on why you do. So today's topic is, do white tea men treat black women better? As a black woman, do you think that white tea men treat you better? Do you think that you should fear black men more? And what is the difference between whitey man worship versus black male worship? What's the difference? Do you think that there is a difference? Like, because I do think that there are quite a few black women that say that they're no longer going to be a pick me for black men or male centered for black men or be a black male worshiper, but then they go and move forward and just put all of those unhealthy ideologies and behavior to the white T man instead. Y'all still here to skipping? Let me know. Y'all still here to skipping? Let me know if you guys still here to skipping, because I blocked some more people in the chat. Okay, y'all don't. Okay, cool. Because it's like I haven't even said nothing yet, so I don't even understand why they would be even skipping. Um, Anywho, yes, I'm hoping I can get some black women up here. If you guys believe it or not, that I would love to hear your thoughts and your perspectives. You know, whether I agree with you or disagree, I'm still gonna let you speak. For 2-3 minutes uninterrupted to hear why it is. Let's see, it's still skipping. Oh my goodness. It's real crazy. I think I'm just gonna block any man that's in the chat. I don't think the guy that was up here would report it. For right now, the only person I see there is he's the only man in the chat box that I can see. So, and I want him to come back after he looks up the stuff to find out that what I said is true. So hopefully I won't block him so he can come back. Hey, how you doing, sis?
Hey, good morning, or almost afternoon. I'm out working out. I was listening in, so I just wanted to chime in real quick and get down. So I work in corporate America. I will say, as a corporate girly, and people hate when I say this, everything that I have learned that has helped me advance in my career has been from a white man on every level, putting in good words to get me promoted, getting me in trainings, putting me on projects, always someone a few steps above me, but it's been a white man. And that's the God honest truth.
I'm sorry, I had to mute myself. Do you think that you are?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me
yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. So I'm asking you: do you think that you are the exception, or do you think that you're the rule? Do you think that the majority of white men, when they see black women in the workplace, their goal is they want to help you succeed and move forward and be rich and prosperous? Is that what you think?
I think it's a thing that all of them do. No, I think they have to see maybe the drive, the willingness to advance. I've had friends of mine tell me they have the same experiences with different companies they work for. But I would say white tea women are the worst. I've left 2 different companies because of them. They see that favor is on you from their men. They see you're doing well. Example, and I'm sorry I'm huffing and puffing, I'm going up a hill. um, I was working on my second master's. I had GI Bill money because I am a veteran, so I had GI Bill money, and my company was paying for that second master's. There was a huge change in the company, and I ended up working for a woman that did not have the same level of education, but she was grandfathered in based on the number of years she's worked. So she had been there a lot longer than me, worked her way up, but not based on education. So I got approved, GI Bill money paying for it. So the money that didn't go to the school, of course, was coming to me. So classes paid for 100%. Everything was going good. And after the change happened, this woman did everything possible to put me in a position where my rating dropped. And if you're not exceptional or better, then it puts you in a position where the company no longer pays for your tuition.
Oh, okay. Um, there's somebody in the comments. Let's see here. Shoot, Ash Ketchum. She said that she has to agree, but in the corporate space only, though. I'm just
I
here.
agree, in the corporate space. I can't speak of anything else because after I got out of the military, I've been corporate.
Okay, so outside of the workplace, do you think that white men treat black women better?
Um, I've only dated a handful, and I haven't had any problem. To me, it's the same. Only thing I would say they're about the same as far as treatment, dates. To me, it's about the same. I can't say
Okay.
that I've had an experience where I'm putting white teen men on a pedestal where they're treating me better. I just feel as though a man gonna be a man, period, when it come to that part of life.
Okay, all right, I got you. I got you. So, I just wanted to say, as far as the research that I was doing while Miss Zeta was speaking about, like white men in the workplace, there's several studies. If you look up like white men and black women in the workplace, you have a study from Harvard that talks about, excuse me, that when black women work in whiter teams, that they have poor outcomes, worse job outcomes, and a high turnover rate. That's in a direct correlation to the race of the people that are there. Then I'm looking at another study here from Lean In, that black women are promoted at a lower rate when either white men or white women are in charge. Let's see here. I'm looking up another one here. McKinsey and Company, women in the workplace 2024, a 10 year anniversary. And actually the other one that I mentioned about the black women have poor outcomes when white women or white men are in charge, that was a 7 year study done over 7 years. So these are elite firms that they chose. So like, very high ranking, high positions. So I'm not saying that it can't ever happen, but I don't know how accurate I think of that anywhere black women go and white men are in charge, that white men are really having their best intentions for black women, seeing as though um white men actively wanted to dismantle DEI and even the option of black women having spaces to where they could, be on a you know what I'm saying, on a level, like even a comparable level to white men or white women. Um,
I
but
can
I'm
definitely
not trying
understand that
but
and
I'm
see
not
that.
trying to downplay what Zeta said, because her reality is her reality. So if she said it that
Yeah,
happened, I
I can
wholeheartedly
definitely
believe you.
see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially like I say, white women in the workplace, if you're educated and you're doing your thing as a black woman, they are they're very, I'm gonna be honest, they're very jealous. I would say my boss now, a white woman, but she's Canadian. I absolutely love her. She was raised, you could tell she's just different. And she's Canadian. And I really, really like her. Never had any problem in the last 4 years. But I can only speak for me. But even when I was in the Navy, um, I had one lieutenant, and he, kind of pulled me to the side to tell me how to set up like all my retirement, set up different things. He explained it to me. Now, I don't think they ever want you to outdo them, outshine them, but at least they kind of give you a little insight to get a little leg up, and but you got
Hey
to put in
Zeta,
the
let me
work
ask you a
yourself.
question. Do you think that they also do this for the white women as well?
I don't know. I've never even asked. They probably do.
Okay.
I don't know. I really can't say. I never even thought to ask,
Okay.
but I just know for myself what they've done which has helped me, like really has pushed me forward.
Okay, all right, I got you, I got you, I got you. And I think it was somebody in the comments, Zia, that said, like, why do we act like there are only black men and white men in the world? I don't think that. There are Asian men in the world, there are white Hispanics in the world, there are Indian men in the world, there are natives in the world. But if you look at the statistics on who black women choose, like in dating, most of the time, like 95% of the time, it's either a black man or a white man. And most of the time it's a black man. So that's the reason I'm talking about it from this lens, because the, like, if you look up like Asian males and black women marriages, it's so small of a pool that they don't even really do percentages on it. Is that unlikely to happen? So that's the reason why I'm talking about it from that way. Like I said, if anybody hasn't been here before, I am very, very, very much a person that likes to go with facts, statistics, things that are tangible, rather than just, anecdotal experiences. Because somebody can have a great experience. Like, how you have people that are like white tea people apologists. Like, you'll have a million black people talk about how bad they've been treated by white people or used and abused or discriminated. And there'll be a black person to come up and say, well, not me. Okay, that could be true. But let's talk about how we can prove so many ways that your experience is rather the outlier than the rule. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I'm talking about black men and black men and white men in this particular instance. But I do believe that, I'm not saying that there aren't any white men that may possibly help a black woman in the workplace. Do I think that he's helping you more than he would help a white woman? No. Do I think that it's anything outside of maybe him assisting you will help the team? Sure. But do I think that if there was a situation where he had to put someone white above you, would he not? He absolutely would, in my opinion. Now, there could be like a very small percentage of white men that wouldn't do that, but 97% of the time, in my opinion, yeah, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. And that's just my opinion. And I think historically speaking would prove everything that I have to say. And at the things that are going on right now with white men. White men don't want to lose power. And they definitely don't want to give it to you. And Zeta says that when, like, I just want to read the comments so y'all can, because some people can't read the comments when I re-upload these, that she had a black male boss and he hated her. And I'm not saying that that is not true. And I think that that has to do with the fact that black men are very rarely in power, and have any control. And I think that a lot of times when black men have reached the point of being able to have some type of control in a corporate setting over a black woman, there are a lot of issues that go in. But there's no way that you want me to believe that a black man can be your boss and hate you and despise you, but white men who literally created racism and discrimination and all of the horrors that black people experience here in the United States, that all your experiences with white men, they love you when you get on the job. They respect you. They want you to make all this money. They just love you so much. That's insane. And no, I don't believe that either. But you let me keep going. I'll just call you Mr. A. Mr. A, you came back. Hey, how you doing? You had something to say?
I looked it up, and yeah, you was right about the numbers, the disparity, and it said that majority of women who are getting unalive is for people they know. So it just that it happened to be the people they know end up being other black men versus a white man in that situation. And I agree what you said earlier about the far as the workplace situation, because when people talk about what white men do for them, and then they talk bad about the white women, they are their counterpart. So you can't have a white person without a white man and white woman. So they still work together. They communicate together. They form against black people all the time in the workspace. And when you mention DEI, I have never heard a white man who complained about DEI talk about white women. We see the majority of DEI money. So it's kind of like disingenuous when people think that white people prefer, I guess, maybe black people over their own. So I just land on that.
All right. I got you. You have a great day. Sir, appreciate you for coming up. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, like, as far as what you said about, black women, being unalived by somebody they know, that's exactly true. But the rates are higher because for black women than white women. And that's something to look into why that is. But I mean, I have my thoughts on why that is, but appreciate you for coming. Yeah. So basically, I just want to hear, if I can. The workplace is fine, but I really want to hear more of a interpersonal situation, because I know when you're working with someone, you don't really know them unless like y'all are friends outside of work. Like you don't really know them, you don't really know their thoughts and feelings. And so I just really want to know, like, because I literally saw a video, and this is what prompted me to make this live today, is that I saw a black woman. She made a video, and look, I'm not on black men's side either. I'm not on any man's side, because I think that all men are equally violent, equally as trashy, equally as can't be trusted, and all of that. So I don't have what is it, a horse in this? I don't have either. Look, I don't have. But yeah, I just, what I want to get deeper into is the psychology behind it. So I saw a black woman. She made a video. She said that black women have got to jump off the black male ship, and they've got to get on the white man ship, because white men treat black women better. White men are so much better. And I just want to know where this psychology is coming from, that, and this isn't to defend black men, but where is this coming from that white men treat you better? Like,
Isn't
I think it's an insane thought process. Like,
isn't there
I really do.
statistics that show that black women and white men, their marriages statistically last longer?
There is a
Isn't there like cases out there about that? I
There's
mean,
a
I think
statistic. Okay, so let me say this. There's a statistic, right, that white men and black women's marriages last longer. Yes, out of interracial marriages. However, white men don't date out very often. And I wish that people would understand that, like, white men and white women marry inside their races the most. Let me give y'all a stat, because I think what we like to do is we like to compare a small percentage to of what's going on to the larger percentage that doesn't do it. You got a lot of
but that
background, Zeta, like a loud background. Let me go here. Amount of white men that date interracially, and the majority of the time when they date interracially, they don't even date black women. So let me just say this right here. I'm giving y'all a stat right now. White people, 12% of white men and white women marry out. 12%. So what is that? 88% of the time, a white person is marrying somebody that's white. So if you are with a white man that is out of that small percentage of 12% that's marrying you, you know his true intentions, that maybe he wants to be with you or whatever the case may be. But that is not the large percentage of white men. It isn't. So that's what I don't understand. We're talking about a small percentage of a small percentage. So, how can we as black women use that to use some type of rule, like rule that white men love black women, when the overwhelming majority of the time, a white man will not entertain you as a black woman. So I just don't understand the pedestal, putting white men on the pedestal. That's what I find to be strange and weird. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So yes, but if we talk about the amount of also black women that, oh, okay. Zeta, did you have something to say, sis? Because you
no,
dropped, was it
it
your,
sent me another invitation. I was just saying I'm back on the main trail and it's really noisy up here. So I was just gonna be down in the comments, but I get what you're saying. However, statistically, black women don't date out either. So it's a very low percentage of black women that date out, low percentage of white men that date black women. So with the numbers that we do have, though, that combination does well statistically. But it's really noisy up here because cars and people on motorcycles and stuff. So I'm gonna just drop down and I'll type when I can because I'm on this trail.
okay, no problem, sis. I just wanted to bring you back up because I didn't want you to think I was trying to silence you or something like that. And
Oh, no, 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 no. I was trying to save y'all ears from all this noise
oh,
because it's the
okay.
wind blowing, cars going by. It's just really noisy out here.
All right, I got you. I got you, sis.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna drop down.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking up right now, you guys, the percentage of black women that are married to black men, and it's approximately 87% to 94% of married black women are married to black men. So that's a very high percentage, absolutely. But I think that we as black women, we know what goes on in the black community, right? And why black women are married to black men the most, because black women are extremely race loyal, way more race loyal than black men. And that that's I have my own issues with black women feeling like they have to be with black men. However, the mentality that goes behind a lot of black women that motivates them to be heavily race loyal, right? So what is the mentality behind white men that also makes them extremely race loyal? That accept, and there's a difference, because anytime there's any type of race loyalty involved when it comes to white men, it's already bogus. It's already something that's negative underneath there, that may not be negative, that's underneath black people, if y'all get what I'm saying. So let's see here. I see you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll send you a request. You said if all races of men wanted y'all would be married to them. They just don't want y'all. Not true. There are plenty of black women that have turned down white men in their time, in their life. So you can stop that. And who wants black men? And I think that a lot of times when y'all say things like this, y'all act like y'all are wanted by other races of women, and y'all are not. White women still, once again, don't date out either. And when they do date out, the highest percentages of them dating out are with white tea Hispanics. Just so that you know, it's not y'all. And if you look at like the dating, online dating data, Asian women ignore y'all. White women ignore y'all. They all choose to put the white men on the pedestal. That's who they choose in dating avenues, not black men. The only women that black men usually are able to get are low hanging fruit, unattractive white women, big back white women, trailer park white women, and women that are discarded from the men in their community. The men in their community don't want them or don't find them attractive. So they know that they can go to black men to be put up on a pedestal, because they know that black men don't care what a woman looks like if she's not black. She can look like anything. She could be a big back. She could be ugly. She could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? And y'all will go ahead and choose her. Y'all will sit there and hose a woman off on a porch like she's on my 600-pound life, as long as she's not black. So get out of here. Nobody wants y'all either. And I think that that's the delusion that comes in with black men, is that y'all are truly delusional to think that women really want y'all. Like, even when y'all get success, like y'all are a basketball player, football player, rich engineer, whatever the case may be, when y'all are able to get access to women, those women normally need y'all. Y'all get with some gold digging heifer that didn't have, two pennies to rub together. Y'all never get with a woman that's on your equal level. Like, you don't ever get with a woman that's a bajillionaire, or a woman that's a supermodel and wanted everywhere. Because why? Because those women that have that type of thing never choose you. The women that have all of the options to choose within their own community never choose black men. And that's something that y'all have got to accept. Y'all are so quick to try to tell a black woman, oh, nobody wants y'all. But nobody wants your blacks either. And I really wish that y'all would get a grip on that. But nonetheless, that's the type of delusion that y'all have. Yeah. No, it's black men. BM means black men. But let me go over here to Steph. Go ahead, Steph.
Hi, Triggered. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having this live. I think the reason why majority of black women say that white men treat them well is because of the trauma that they've faced from the black community, or from black men specifically. I don't really think it's very reliable because of, like you said, what is the intention behind them intentionally seeking for white men as partners. I would say to never put a white man, or any man in general, in a pedestal. If anything, you have to typically vet white men more, and also check your intentions as to why you feel the need that you're not abandoning, but like you are just looking for white men to date, only white men to date. In my experience, I'm open to dating basically any man of any race. My motivation to this is just being like a generally open person. I mostly only get approached by white men, but I don't have a specific preference. But like I said, you have to vet them more, like I think more than you would naturally, let's say, for a black man, because there's just a lot of layers. And like you said, it's a man at the end of the day. So already there's just a lot of things you need to make sure are right before you pursue or get into a relationship with them.
All right. I got you, Steph. All right, let me go up here to Nicole. Go ahead, Nicole.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of interracial dating, so definitely have a lot of comments on what you said. I've dated black men, I've dated a lot of white men, been married to white men. And so for me, I think the issue or what it comes down to is I think why women find maybe black men more damaging is I think it comes down to looking at how they were raised. And so I have had black guys treat me well, black guys not treat me well, white guys treat me well, white guys treat me terribly. And when I looked at all the relationships or the ones that didn't treat me well, a lot of them grew up without their dad. And I think a lot of men need a blueprint on how to be a man, right? So they need to know how to grow, how to treat women, how to do this. And so I think just statistically speaking, right? I think there's some stats out there. I think like 64%, we can look it up, but I think it's like something over 60% of black men are growing up in a single parent household. And if you look at white men, that's closer to like 25%. So I don't think it's not necessarily like a race thing, but I find like white guys who come from broken homes or homes of a single parent, they're screwed up as well. So I really just think it's that these men are coming, they don't have a blueprint on knowing how to be a man. And statistically speaking, black men are more likely to come from that type of home. And that's why I think you see more issues in those types of relationships.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like we give too much credit to the way that white men are raised than the way that black men are raised. I know black men that have come out good, that have come from a single parent household. We have all of these white men that come out here that are PDF files, that are serial unalivers, that are complete hateful psychopaths that were raised with two parents. So I don't know. I just don't believe in the putting the white T family unit on a pedestal, because if the way they did things was so great, they wouldn't be here everywhere across the world, no matter where they're at, ruining everything, being hateful to everybody, not keeping their hands off children, because 85% of the production of child abuse material and is done and consumed by white T men. So I don't know about that. I feel like even that idea is something that white T men have successfully indoctrinated a lot of black people into believing. Not to say that there aren't black men that are out here acting foul and being ignorant and being foolish a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm never here to say that a lot of black men don't be wilding, because they do. All I ever want to say is that a lot of white men be out here wilding too. But because everything that black people do is always put on Front Street, it's always like, oh, it's just us. These innocent white people are being raised in these lovely two-parent households, and they're coming out into the world so beautiful and so nice and so caring to the women, their women, and everyone else. And that's just not true. I don't know if anybody ever goes on the white side of TikTok, but those women stay hooting and hollering and complaining about how they're being mistreated and used and abused by white men. And then I've always noticed that when women tell me that white men have been raised so much better, they always preface it with, I've dated, I've had relationships with, in the past tense. So if they were so much superior, then why aren't those relationships ongoing? Why have those relationships broken apart? Why are you not with that man? Why did you not be with those guys? What happened to where those relationships broke down if they're so amazing? That's what I never understand. Very rarely do black women come up and tell me, yes, white men treat me so much better. I've been in a relationship with a white man for 25 years, for 20 years, for 15 years. We everything's good with us. I think I might have heard it literally one time. since I've been doing lives. Every time I hear a black woman talk about it, it's always in the past tense, which is concerning to me, which means that the better focus for black women would be on realizing the harm that men of all races can cause black women, as opposed to thinking that, you know, that because their skin is white, something is going to be better. I don't know. I just find it to be strange. Like, I really do. And I think that what it does is it allows to put black women in a position to be taken advantage of, where you don't, because if you automatically go in thinking that this person is going to be superior because of the color of their skin, you putting your, it's just like the Danish deception lady. It automatically puts you in a position to be taken advantage of, because just the Danish deception lady, she never would have got okey doke by a black man like that. Cause she would have went into it like, I don't trust this. Like, what? You want what? You want who? You want what? She would have never ever went for it like that. But because this man had blonde hair and blue eyes, and she subconsciously or consciously put that on the pedestal, she made it easier for her to be used and abused by him. And now she just looks like a fool. But let me keep going. Let me set your timer. Hey, how you doing, JB?
I can move in the room a little easier. There are black women who think that and say that. So I think that white male worship is more geared toward the worship or adoration of white supremacy, of wanting that particular kind of social capital in a more accessible form. I think it goes to wanting the proximity to whiteness and this Pecola Breedlove syndrome. Like if I looked more white, aka if I had this man's biracial children, then ergo my kids are pretty, ergo I will finally be pretty. So I think it's very I think this is I think it's a spider web or a crack in a windshield. It looks like one thing, but it's really something altogether different. And I really think it's rooted in the lusting after being accepted, being loved, and not loving yourself first. Again, far be it for me to tell anybody who to date, as long as he does you right, is respects you, and does not penalize you for being black. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Without colorism and texture, love who you love. The one thing I will say is, but understand you are black everywhere you go, even when you're with this man and when you're not with this man. But I think I think it goes a lot to the worship of whiteness and white.
You. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. All right, I got you. JB. Cool cat. I sent you a request, but I'm trying to understand what you said in the comments. You said no, they act out because they are born evil. Also, they create broken homes. Who are you saying is born evil? Because I know you're not talking about black men are just the ones that are born evil. Is that what you're saying? Because I'm confused at what you're saying. And that's the type of, I'm hoping that I can get you up here because I'd like to pick your brain. Because I can't understand how, like, a black woman can come to that conclusion. You have had white tea men use, abuse, grape, assault, eat black people, take their children and use them as alligator bait, take a woman and strange fruit her and cut open her stomach and stomp on her baby. They have used black women for gynecological experiments with no anesthesia over and over and over again. Grape women in a million different ways, sell their children like they're litters of like have puppies when puppies have litters, and do unconscionable horrors to black people, and you spray neighborhoods with cancer causing chemicals without telling people, experiment on them, the Tuskegee experiments and everything else, and somehow they're not evil. Like, I really need y'all to understand that just like you are upset at black men for being raccoons and participating in coonery and being sellouts and all of that stuff, when you do that, you're doing the same thing. And I find actually infinitely worse when black women behave like that, because I feel like we know better. I feel like we are way, way more intelligent and insightful than that, honestly and truly. And the fact that somebody says that black men unalive black women more, though, what about the past? Huh? So this isn't to say to absolve black men of responsibility of anything, but this is for you to say that, but you can't say all of the things that white tea men have done historically. Huh? That they're doing currently to disenfranchise black women specifically. Like, what? And most crime is intraracial. It's happening to the people that's in the community that you're in. But when black women hold company with white men, which they very rarely do, things happen there as well to black women, because black women aren't protected by anybody. So, like, I don't understand where you're coming from that. That type of like, uh, insanity, I don't get it. Like, really, it's something wrong there that you think that. Because if white tea men really loved black women, really wanted to pursue black women the way y'all are saying in these comments, there would be a lot more black women married to white men. White men would choose to pursue, because when white tea men want something, what happens? They usually get it, right? So why is it not happening? Think about that. Cause what are we talking about? Oh, honestly. Oh my goodness. Well, you said black men unemployed. You said black women are more race loyal. What about the ones like yourself that are not? That pedestalize whiteness? So you do. So where's your white husband at? Where you come up here and tell me, your 10, 15, 20-year marriage where you've been treated like a princess by your white tea husband. Where is that at then? Cause y'all say that, but y'all never have anything to show for this worship. Anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead. Walking in truth. I'll set your timer. You there? Let me, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just opening up the thing. As a BW, do you think that white women and white men treat you better? Do you think you should fear BM or black men, BOK men, more than white men? Do you think you should fear BOK? Okay, worship versus black men versus worship. I don't know. Okay, I kind of get what you're saying. All right. Like that lady said, a fool is a fool is a fool. They all men, and not only do I not think that white men are better than BOK men, white men are better than BOK men. They could be really worse and very harmful when they do not get what they want. The thing about that I notice about white people in their culture is that a lot of times the signs of them not liking you or not feeling you or being upset with you are not always super obvious. And because of that, sometimes they can pull a lot of stuff over your now I'm not talking about the Danish deception. I think she fooled herself. And I think she wanted to be fooled, by the way, too. But I think that they could be very harmful, because if they get pissed off at you and they feel some sort of way, you don't always see all the different signs, where a BOK man will sometimes show you some different signs that he's having a problem with you, or X, Y, and Z, and something's coming. So that's number one. And number two, you also get the fact that if you ever break up, he has a certain level of privilege in the world, so that you don't have. And so not only does he take back that privilege that you once had, or you thought you had when you were with him, but he uses that very privilege against you. And so it doesn't always have to be like that. And I'm sure it's not always like that. Pardon me. But it is like that sometimes, and enough times. And I personally wouldn't want to have to deal with that, being in a situation where this person's gonna turn their white tea privilege on me, which already is a foul thing. And also, too, I don't even want their white tea privilege in the relationship. I don't think it's anything to be desired. I think it's phony, it's fake, it's nasty, it's wicked. It comes from a very dark place in hell. And yeah, so no, they're to me. And if anything, I mean, I'm not here to tell somebody that they be okay women that can't be with a white tea man. I do give be okay women a little slack on being outside their race, because a lot of our men just not have brought themselves to a certain level to where you're going to get the same level of lifestyle. Now, that's not talking about treatment, I'm talking about lifestyle. And because of that, I can't be mad at a woman if she got a PhD and she want to live a certain kind of lifestyle. She's created a certain thing for herself, and she doesn't want to necessarily go down. Now, there's some big BOK men that got their stuff together too, so I'm not saying that you couldn't have a power couple in that regard. But a lot of BOK women may not be in certain circles to be able to get that. And if they get a white tea man or a man that's outside of their circle, outside of the BOK world, and they happy and they do their thing, but to think that you're about to get something better, he's still a man. And he got white tea privilege, and he could easily use that privilege against you, because it's a nasty thing anyway. So I'll land there for now.
All right, I got you. Also, I wanted to say something as well. I think it was Zeta that was up here that mentioned black women and white men having a lower instance of divorce in their interracial pairing. Excuse me, I was looking this up while you guys were talking. Asian woman and white man pairings also have a very low rate of divorce. Now, Asian men and white women have a high rate of divorce, but Asian women and white men have a low instance of divorce. So I want to say this: if you have a white man that is he wants to get with you, a black woman, and reduce some of his white privilege, because that is what's going to happen, being with a black woman and having biracial children, more than likely his outlook on life is probably what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say more tolerant than the regular average everyday white man that makes up the majority, the large 88% of white men, right? So using that as a once again, seeing as though the majority of white men don't have anything to do with black women, using that as a rule book or a way to say, oh, white men are so much more trustworthy than black men and this, that, and the third is just not true. You cannot compare a small percentage of white men that may be more quote unquote progressive or tolerant than the majority to show that the majority is better and not a threat to black women. Now, once again, the only reason why I'm having this live is not because I want black women to only date black men, or I'm here to talk about black women that date interracially. I don't care. I don't care who y'all date, who y'all choose, whether he's black, whether he's white, whether he's Asian. I don't care. The thing about it that I feel that I've seen black women do, and I saw several videos today, probably because I watched the first one, in my algorithm is black women praising white tea men and acting like white men are trustworthy, that they can be trusted, and that they truly love and appreciate black women as a collective. That is a lie from the deepest, darkest pits of hell. And if you believe that, you've got to educate yourself. Not saying that you should just choose black men if you don't want to. What I'm saying is you should look at all men, all men, all men as a threat. All men need to be vetted. All men can okie doke you. All men can't be trusted. Not saying that just because somebody has white skin that means they're going to treat you well, because it's not true. Just like, and when you do that, when you have that ideology, what you do is make yourself an easy lick. Just like the Danish deception. You make yourself an easy lick for somebody to hit. And do you want that? I hope you don't want that. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Like, why are you do not and in the way that I have seen black women publicly put white tea men on a pedestal, where are the thousands of videos from white tea men putting black women on a pedestal? Huh? Where is it? Because white men are not doing the same for us. So why are you doing it? You just seem desperate and male-centered. Truthfully. Yeah. Let's see here. Chris, you said it's not that black women are dating white tea men over BMs. If anything, we're not dating at all. I have no problem with that. Nicole says, where are the videos of black men putting their women on the pedestal? Once again, this isn't a competition. I didn't say, now, I'm put on a pedestal by my husband, but that's not representative of the collective, right? So I'm not saying that black men are doing that. I don't think that black men are doing that at all. I think that black men are buck broken, that they don't respect the women, their women in their community. They don't respect their mothers. They don't respect their sisters. They don't respect their daughters. They don't respect the women that give them time and opportunity. Not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that so you're saying that black men don't put black women on pedestal, which I agree. But you think that white men do? All I'm saying is that I want black women to understand that nobody is doing that for black women collectively. No one. Not white men, not black men, not Asian men, not Indian men, not Native American men, or indigenous, I think you're supposed to say now. Indigenous men. No one is doing that for black women. That's the only thing I was trying to say. But did you have something to say, Nicole? If you have something to say, you can.
Yeah, I had a couple of things. So just getting back, I was never saying that, hey, I don't think white men should be put on a pedestal. But, you were talking about crime statistics and everything else before with white men. What I'm just saying is, let's look at crime aside and you have like a normal guy. I'm just saying that we should just you need to look at the person's character and you need to look at how they were raised. White men can treat you just as horribly as much as black men. So I totally 100% agree with you. And I think men are men. You have to do vetting. For me personally, I just like to look at like, hey, does he come from a two-parent household? Does he know how to be a man? Does he know how to treat and respect women? Right? I think that happens statistically more with white guys because of how they're raised. But white men can treat you horribly, right? So I agree with you. Men are men. Women have to do vetting. On the other point, you were saying that like white men don't want to date black women. I think that's not true. Like when they looked at like online dating, yes, black women were like the least preferred, but there actually was another study when they looked at speed dating. And then when people met the person in person, there is no differences in terms of what race they chose. So a lot of people have their ideas of like online who they want to date, but when they meet you in person and see you in person, that's a different story. So for me, I never have had any issues dating white men at all. I've never had any issues. It's never been a problem for me. I've had a lot of black girlfriends who, were not being treated well. And I'm like, hey, maybe you should just open up yourself and look at dating white guys. And they're like, hell no. I'm always going to be loyal to black men. The issue is that black women do not want to date white men. They are extremely, extremely loyal. Most of them will never look outside. So I think that's what the issue is. Also, I think another thing for me is also get into an issue of like class as well, because I'm very successful. I do very well for myself type thing. So most of the spaces that I'm like either the only black person or there might be one other black male. So I'm usually in white spaces at work and white spaces at university. So I'm exposed to white men all the time. I have never had an issue with them dating. When I've been in that kind of upper echelon, going to like a top 10 school, all this other stuff, I was interested in dating black men. The black men at my level only wanted to date white women. Right. And so for me, I was like, okay, cool. If they want to go get a white woman, that's fine. But I was like, I need to open up my options. I can't just like limit myself and just hope I'm going to get a really successful black man because, and just be loyal and just, hold out for them. So I opened my options in college and start dating outside my race. So like for me, it's never been an issue. I think it's, some women might have an issue with, finding white men to date. But I think especially when you start moving up in salary and up in the ranks and up in class, when you're around white people all the time, it is not an issue. It's never been an issue for me. There's plenty of white men who have no problem dating me.
So I had a couple questions. You mentioned like white men dating like black women in person and there not being any issues. Once again, I really feel like the proof is in the pudding on that, because the only thing that you can do when you quantify whether somebody wants to really be with you and keep you around long term is if they're married to you. Seeing as though white men have a higher marriage rate than a lot of other demographics here in the United States of men. So the rates of white men marrying black women is low.
But
So
black women
that,
don't want white men. They don't want to
no,
date
and
them.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is you're saying that white men are really trying to get at black women and stuff like that. Why isn't there a higher percentage of that? Where is this going on? You date white men, right? You said that you
Yes.
would. So what, and everything has been going on great. How long have you been dating white men for, like how many years?
Oh, probably, 20 years.
Okay, so what, are you married?
I was married.
Okay, to a white man?
Yes.
And it didn't work out? So
No, he had a lot. And like I said, I should have been doing more vetting. And that's my biggest regret. Like I said, I've had black guys not treat me well, white guys. He came from a single parent household. He had a lot of issues with his mother. He didn't know how to treat women. And like I said, men are men are men. I think women, we need to do more vetting and figuring out the guy's background. Does he
I
know
mean,
how
I
to,
don't know
you know?
about the single parent household that you keep saying. My husband was raised in a single parent household. I've been married 16 years. I get treated like a princess. Never had any issues with him our entire marriage. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the issue.
Did he
But what
have a
I'm
strong
saying
male
is,
figure so that
but
he could did he have a strong male figure in his life that gave him the blueprint on knowing how to treat you?
not really.
Okay.
So my thing is I think the single parent and two
Mm-hmm.
parent household, because I was raised in a two parent household with both my parents who were married, black
Mm-hmm.
woman, black man, they were married. My grandparents on my mama's side was married. My grandparents on my daddy's side was married. My great grandparents were married too. So both on both sides, and they were stay at home wives, and so was my mother. So
Mm-hmm.
I had a different, um viewpoint of what life is, and my husband had a different viewpoint of what he had on in his growing up and his life. But I think that the thing that I find troubling is that the fact that there's this connection to success with choosing a white man by people that have not had success with those same white men. That's what I find weird.
But
There's no judgment. I just don't understand it. I don't know how you can keep talking about the success with white men and that somehow they're a better choice if you can't find success in them either.
I
That's
know,
what
but
I
I'm
don't
saying you're
understand. And,
using
and even if
anecdotal.
you, well, what I'm
Yeah,
saying is if you don't acknowledge that is right there putting whiteness on the pedestal.
but
And
I'm saying
you
you're
don't got to
looking at
put
one on
black
one.
men on the pedestal, but putting white men on the pedestal, I find to be strange.
But I'm saying you're looking at one-on-one examples. You're like, hey, Nicole, you can't say that you've been in a successful relationship with white men, so it doesn't work. But if you look at the data, the divorce rates say that white men and black women, right, interracial relationships, the divorce rate is lower. And also when you
I
compare
just
it to,
explained to you about that
yeah,
earlier.
but right, but if you look at the
Because
data,
the
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 divorce rates are
interracial,
equal.
let me say
It's
this,
equal or lower.
just a second, the interracial divorce rates for white men and Asian women are also low. Now the divorce rates for white women and Asian men are high, but the divorce rates for white men and Asian women are low as well, extremely low. And they date Asian women more than they date black women interracially. So what I'm saying is, and I said this, is that and 88% of white men don't date black women, don't marry, well, let's just say don't marry black women. So maybe they might sleep with you behind closed doors, but they're not marrying you. They're not making you their wife. So 88% of white men don't have anything to do with black women. So when you talk about the small percentage that's not the collective, the small percentage of white men that are willing to give up some of their white privilege and date and marry a black woman, those men are probably going to be more progressive, more open-minded than the collective of white men. So all I'm saying is that I don't have a problem with black women dating out. All I'm saying is going out here in the streets and saying, oh, these white men that come from these two-parent households, they're so much better than black men, and they're who we should be looking for. That's a problematic way of thinking. And what it's going to do is get you hurt in the long run, because you're giving white men a grace that you shouldn't give any man. I say this all the time. Men don't deserve grace from women. So giving them any type of excuse, any type of out is already crazy. And giving them an excuse and an out because of their race or because their mother was there and their dad wasn't, in my opinion, is insane. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when, and this isn't just you, we're talking about anecdotal. I like I said earlier, I've had this discussion with black women a lot. And every black woman except for one, anytime we have these conversations, they always talk about, oh, well, I date white men. I date white men. I've dated white men for years. And they do treat me better. And I say, well, have you been married? Most of them say no. They don't even say that they've been divorced. And then there are a few that say, I have, and I've been divorced. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if these men are so much more superior and better, the better choice for you, and they love black women so much, why are you not able to keep these relationships afloat? Why are they not lasting? Why are you just dating? And nobody's been able to give me an answer to that. And this has been multiple black women that I've spoken with. So
I do have a girlfriend who's in a relationship with a white guy. They've been married for like 18, 19 years. They're quite happy.
then I think that's great. That's fantastic. I'm here for black women being loved by anybody. The only thing I'm not here for black women doing is black women putting white men on the pedestal. And you cannot put white men on the pedestal without putting white women on the pedestal. And that's something I think black women are totally are not getting. If you're putting, just like the black men that are self-hating raccoons that turn around and put white women on the pedestal and talk about how much white women are so much better than black women and how delusional and crazy and self-hating they are, it's the same thing when black women do this. If you can uplift the daughters like black men do, you're uplifting the fathers too, because those are their creation. So if you are uplifting a white man and saying that he's so much superior than the black man, then the white woman is superior to you too. There's no way to separate that. So if you come and say, oh, these white men coming from these two-parent families, they're so much better than the men in our community, then they're better than you too. And that to me is a self-hating way to think, because ain't no white woman better than me. Ain't no white man better than me. Black people are the top of the top. Black women especially are the top of the top. I'm going to say cut that out. Black women are the top of the top. So in order to say that is to demean and degrade yourself. And I wish that black women would understand that. To put yourself in a position in any way, shape, or form to publicly praise white men is to degrade yourself. It really is, because you don't see white people doing that to black women. You don't. And so why are we doing it? And I think that that's a deeper look that needs to be had on why, when black women are mad at black men, which they are rightfully so mad at black men and their buck-broken behavior, their treasonous nature, that's all rightful ways to feel. I feel that way too, looking at black men like, dang, why do y'all have to be like this? But to take that anger and to use that to uplift the white man is insane, in my opinion. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you use that to uplift the white man? Because no matter how the white man feels about anything, he's never going to use that anger to put the black woman on the pedestal. Collectively, he's never going to do it, ever. That's even why you see white men that date black women. You don't see them openly saying, oh, you know what, this black woman is so much better than white women. Now, you might see that anecdotally around, but the majority of white men never do that. They get a black woman and stay in their lane and be quiet. So why are we doing that as black women? That's all I'm saying.
I've never seen a white woman put black women down, but I see black men do it all day, right? Like, right? Like,
you
maybe
said
you're
you
not
haven't seen a
celebrating
white
us,
woman
but they're
put
not.
black women down?
Right, but I'm saying they're not celebrating us. What you're saying, white men aren't celebrating us, but they're not putting us down. But a lot of black men are put down black women all the time, each and every day.
Yeah, and I also think that white men do the same by enacting acts of racism and discrimination and DEI and all of this other stuff. Like white men are actively being racist against black people and black women currently right now in this administration. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the racist that you can get. The racist that you can get is start an organization, the JJJ, because you know I can't say the other word, to actually enact violence against black women, black men, and black children, which they're doing right now. To actively dismantle DEI and things that assist, even though the biggest recipients of DEI is white women, but still to actively disenfranchise black people. So yes, white men are doing that actively right now. Just because they don't look at you and say, hey, there's that N word with the hard R over there, which they do that as well. They do other things more insidious to disenfranchise you. So I don't even understand what you meant by that. Like,
No, I'm just saying, once again, I'm not going to, but have been white people who are involved in the civil rights movement. There are white people who have died for black people's rights. So yes, I get we're talking about systematic racism, but you also can't categorize all white men
but when
in
you
that
talk
and think that
about
they're,
white people that have unalived for the rights of black people, for the one white person per one white person that has unalived for the rights of black people, there are literally 10,000, 20,000 that would unalive to so that you don't have any. So to use the minority to justify something doesn't make any sense. Like just for that one white person that's willing to unalive, there's 10 or 20,000 that won't and don't want you to have anything. And if you could be in chains now, they would happily want that for you. But I got to keep going. Let me go up here to Chris. Go ahead, Chris. Let me start your timer. You have something to say?
Yeah, no, the fact that folks are trying to say that because like black men speak poorly about black women, that's the reason why they need to put white men up on a pedestal. But I had mentioned this in the comments, but it's the fact that like when white people date black folk or Asian folk or anybody like that, they don't spend their time defaming their white counterparts. Like they're like white men don't defame white women don't defame white men the way that particularly black men will defame black women, the way black women will defame white men or black men, the way like Asian men will defame Asian women, anything like that. Also the fact that um somebody in the comments was saying that, well, black women are open to everybody. That's actually statistically untrue. Black women seek black men first and foremost when it comes to dating. Um, it is then if they find they're unsuccessful in dating black men that they will then open themselves up to other men. However, I am against the idea that white men should be put up on a pedestal because historically, um, they're the ones that vote against our rights the most. Like, in terms of, like, this is the thing that, like, black women who date white men need to understand. You're not just dating him, you're also dating his family. And, like, even if he was progressive enough to vote for your rights, there's a high chance his mother and father didn't. And so you have to deal with that at the Thanksgiving dinner. You have to deal with that at the Christmas table. Um, and also the fact that statistically, white men may be willing to date you. They may be willing to like screw you. But also statistically, they don't marry us as often. So yeah, don't be like defaming black men just because you don't have a successful dating rate with them. Because unless these white men are like marrying you and staying marrying to you like consistently, they're not necessarily that great either. It's just more covert with them.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, Chris. Appreciate you. I just wanted to say real quick, to some people in the comments that were talking about like white tea men don't defame their women. I think I've said this, but it's probably a lot of people that I've never had conversations with in the chat today. But I lurk in a lot of red pill manosphere groups. I lurk in the white ones. I lurk in the black ones. I lurk in the Asian ones. I have underneath the male profile a lot. And I will say that one thing I do feel like white men do differently is that in their red pill groups, they just talk about women as a whole. Like, oh, all women are 304s. All women are worthless. We gotta, it's not, she's never yours. It's just your turn. And a whole bunch of other disgusting things that they talk about women. They say that to blanket all races of women. But I will say that there definitely are a lot of pictures of black women being shared in those groups with 8 faces, racially charged caricatures of black women with big lips and big noses, looking like monkey faces, and all of that type of stuff they used to do back in, I would say, like the 20s and 30s. Like, it's a lot of that going on. And when we talk about white men and supposedly whatever they're doing, white men are the ones that invented this patriarchy as we know it here in the United States of, you shut up, you go clean, you do this, that, and the third. If you don't, I'm gonna knock your teeth in. So I don't understand why we are not aware of where these systems started. And I think that black men saw the power that white men had over their white wives and wanted that. Now realizing that black women are way stronger than white women are and ever will be. So that wasn't what they tried to do to us, wasn't going to work. Like, we were going to rebel against that. But that's what the black men's whole shtick is, to try to copy what they've seen the white man enforce upon his own woman. So his own group of women, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know why we ignore that as well. But let me just keep going. This person next, Avi, you said that the scare tactics, I don't have any scare tactics. And if I say the scare tactics that I have is for women to be wary of all men, no, regardless of race. If that's the only thing. I'm not trying to tell black women not to date white men or not to date black men or not to date Asian men. Date who you want. Go where you're appreciated. If you find somebody that's treating you like a queen, go for it, regardless of his color. The problem is that once you start to pedestalize one group of men because of the color of his skin, that's where you're going to be a lick like the Danish deception. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead, Avi. Let me start your timer. You there, Avi? Hopefully I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, let me know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were asking me to speak. I thought you were just talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you can go ahead. You ready, Avi? Or did you want to say
Yeah,
something?
I just think as black women, if you really truly want to get married, you have to consider all men at all levels. Like, say if you're in high school, you're in college, you're grad school, you have to be accomplishing all those things all at the same time. And if you're not open to, Asian men or whatever it is, you're just lessening your opportunity. If there's 100 men in a room and you're willing to date all those 100 men, you are increasing your opportunity. Whereas if you're only interested in dating 6 of those men, then you're lowering your opportunity. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. I got you. Let me keep going here. Okay. Don't say nothing crazy. All right, go ahead, conservative black
I'm
women.
not going to say anything crazy. I just wanted to let you know because it is a scaring tactic that you're trying to do.
No,
And
first of all, okay, you already messed up because it's not a scaring tactic that I'm trying to do at all. I just already said that black women should go where they're wanted and they're appreciated. But like, you're clearly a raccoon. You got a doggone MAGA hat. There's
no,
something
give me
mentally
a
wrong with
chance.
you. Like, you probably be sitting there getting filmed doing ghetto gaggers and stuff like that, and you don't find that disrespectful, but you find whatever else disrespectful. I don't even know why I added you up here. I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't talk to raccoons.
All
You're
I'm
on the same
saying is
level.
that we don't
I
need
don't care
all
what you're
white
saying.
men.
You're on the same level as a white woman, and I'm not gonna talk to you. Just like I don't talk to white people on my page, I'm not talking to you either. I don't talk to raccoons. So, like, what are we talking about? Like, you're delusional. And I blocked her. Just so anybody knows, I
You
blocked
know
her and
what,
dropped
Trigger?
her.
I was asking you, should I block her? But I was like, no, because I was like, I was gonna block her before you even
I'm
added
not.
me.
I'm not about to go back and forth with no black woman that has a MAGA hat on. Like, you clearly are trying to get a reaction. You're trying to be either inflammatory or either you're a delusional raccoon. Either option is absolutely horrible. And it's like you're talking about I'm doing scare tactics by saying that all men can't be trusted. I never came up here and said the black man is your man. That you should be with the black man because the black man is gonna treat you like a princess and a queen. I never said that because that I would be lying. I would be lying if I said that too. The only thing I said is that for black women, all men are potential ops. Every last one of them, because anti-blackness is prevalent across the globe. And also, misogynoir is also just as prevalent. So you are at higher risk as a black woman of being used, abused, and taken advantage of by any race of men. I said, don't trust the white man. Don't trust the black man. Don't trust the Asian man. Don't trust the white Hispanics. Don't trust the Indians. Don't trust the indigenous. Don't trust none of them. That's all I said. If you manage to find somebody that loves you and wants to make you their wife, cool. I love it. I don't care what race they are. And I don't know why people purposely misunderstand me, but I do think that deep down inside in some women's psyches, for me to put the white man up here and say that he's not good is to make their coon chip activate and to feel like, wait a minute, she must be trying to stop me from putting the white man on the pedestal. I must debunk this. I must debate with her. Like, and I don't know what's up with that, but I just know I'm not having a conversation with a heifer that has on a doggone MAGA hat. Like, you're already lost in the sauce. Like, so I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you. Yeah, especially when you first start talking to me crazy. Cause you wouldn't say that to a white man. You wouldn't say that to a white woman. You would have been up here. Oh, I don't think that there's anything wrong with what you're saying. I mean, I know that you said that all black people are violent animals, apes. But I can get what you're saying. Per capita, per capita, per capita. Like, so you're not gonna give me an attitude that you wouldn't give them children of the chalk. So yeah, no. Let me keep going. Gabrielle, you had something to say?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. I definitely do agree with you that no group of male should collectively be put on a pedestal. I think that lady up here who had the MAGA hat is the example of like what not to do, because it's like, regardless of the race of man you're dating, if he is MAGA, at this point, it really should be a no-go. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the political stuff. I think we all are at least somewhat aware of like what's going on. But beyond that, when it comes to males, I really do think at the end of the day, it should come down to how that man treats you. I really do think that collectively speaking, whether he's white T, BLK, or whatever, I think the group of males that are even psychologically capable of, being able to have healthy relationships with women is sinking. So I definitely don't think that the race of man, should be put on a pedestal. I'm saying that someone who has, dated YT guys over the years. I'm saying that someone who has come across YT guys who I would not date. Like, I can just take one look at you and just say, nope, it's going to be a hard no for me. It's not going to be for me. But, beyond that, I mean, I don't think anything the host is saying is fear mongering. I haven't heard anything that I disagree with. I mean, I definitely will say though that if a guy, whether he's white or whatever, if he is MAGA, it should be a no-go. If he's into red pill stuff, it should be a no-go. If he's calling women females or talking about, oh, women need to be submissive, if he's saying stuff like, oh, modern women are 20 times worse than their grandmothers, it should be a no-go. Like, there's a lot of different things that you have to screen for, in my opinion, when you're dating a guy, and it can't just be, because he's white, he's going to be great, because that's not going to be the case in all situations. Like, that kind of attitude is like how you get the Danish deception lady. So, and which is like an entirely other thing I could go into, but I won't, because of like, I've got like a minute left. But yeah, I mean, I really do think it comes down to the man's character. Does he respect women? Is he opening doors for you? Is he paying for dates? Are you guys aligned on, life goals and values and stuff like that? I think all of that needs to be taken into account. I don't think any race of man should be collectively worshipped, because collectively speaking, obviously I'm not talking about the individual level. It's going to be different individually, but collectively speaking, men in general don't have a great track record when it comes to their treatment of women, when it comes to like the misogyny, the manosphere stuff, and how a lot of them voted in the most recent election. A lot. I mean, there were even BOK guys who were talking about how great they thought Felon 47 currently in the White House is. So there are a lot of different nuances in this conversation, but I absolutely agree with the host that like no race of man should be pedestalized, and you can't just say because a man is white he's going to be great, because there are a lot of white males who are objectively trash. So yep, I really do agree with the host, and thank you for, letting me share my 2 cents.
All right, I got you, Gabrielle, and I appreciate you, sis. It's always good to hear from you. I would say, do y'all remember that girl? I know she's in her early 20s. I ran across her videos. She always wore the MAGA hat with her whitey husband, and then watch when she got pregnant, he ended up leaving her. And she was all on social media hooting and hollering and crying about how he okey doked her. So I just want to say, for the black women that are conservatives that run around here with the MAGA hats on, if you are with a white man that is cool with you walking around with that hat on and doing all of that raccoon stuff, I promise you that you're just a fetish. And eventually you'll find that out. And then when you come back to social media with your hat in your hand, don't expect any type of sympathy. That happens over and over and over again with black women. Like, and this isn't to say all white men, but I'm talking about the white men that will have you looking stupid like that. Okay, play if you want to. Exactly. Like somebody said in the comments, tokens get spent. And that's exactly what's about to happen to you, honestly and truly. And that black woman that was just up here, she's the same. It's just like she's on a timer and doesn't even realize it. But let me keep going. Let me go up here to and let me talk to somebody named Anna. I don't know what like race you are, and so I'm gonna block you after I tell you this. But when you talk about the fact that like there's so much violence, domestic violence, and I'm not saying that there's not domestic violence in the black community, but once again, what I'm trying to explain is that there's domestic violence in all communities. Men in general have the propensity for violence. That's the reason why the majority of all violent acts and violent crimes are committed by men. And it's across the globe, no matter where you go. That's why when you're in the Middle East, how they're abusing those women, beating those women, unaliving those women, doing all of these things. No matter where you go, that's happening. In Asia, there's a high domestic violence rate. All of these men abusing their women, putting their hands on them. Everywhere where you go, where men are present, they're using they're using their strength and what they have to abuse and oppress and dominate women everywhere. So I have no idea why y'all overlook all the other communities that have insane rates of domestic violence, of rape, of abuse, and everywhere else. And not to mention here in the United States, there have been several studies that have said that whitey women are less likely to report domestic violence or abuse. So the true numbers of what happens to them go grossly unreported and unrecorded. So please stop it. You're not going to tell me that the whitey men that created the abuse system of patriarchy, of get in that kitchen before I knock your block off, are somewhere everywhere at their house treating their women like princesses. You got to stop being stupid. But let me just keep going. I'm going to go to Kalandra next. But I'm going to block Anna. If anybody sees her in there, please block her. Well, I see her right now. I'm going to block her. She's gone.
I was gonna block her too because she made me real mad with them literacy stats. Because girl, all children are behind, and I'm a teacher and I can say that. Hold on, give me one.
Yeah, she's gone. Anna's gone because like you don't even know if that's a white tea person because they like to do that too. Anytime they see like black conversations, they like to come in and try to But Kalandra said she had to wait, so I'm gonna keep going. Let me go up here to Ethereal.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, you ready? Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
I had to send him to this room for a second. I just want to say that to Nicole in the comments, you making comments like 40% of white men voted for Kamala Harris. Yeah, that might be true, but just like Dean, I feel like white liberals who are men sometimes are very dangerous because they don't acknowledge their privilege in the country, and then they try to tell people how to feel about certain things. As somebody who keeps up with politics and stuff like that, that's one thing I can say about them. They like to try to, yeah, they think things are wrong, but you're dangerous if you don't acknowledge your privilege in the country compared to other people. I think that black women who put white men on pedestals instead of black men. I think it's pygmies, but you're trying to do it because you're doing it because you want to have your male center and you want a man to look up to. And so I definitely think it's pygmyism. I don't think women should be pygmies for no race of men. I think you should be careful no matter who you date because men are dangerous, and with everything going on. Wait, Chris, what you said? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think you should be like that for any men. But like I said, and when it comes like Trigger said, when it comes to like DV statistics, all men put their hands on their wives. I watch a lot of true crime stuff. Chris Watts unalived his whole family. Scott Peterson unalived Lacey, and so I think women should be careful no matter what. But like I said, when you're putting white tea men on pedestals and stuff as a black woman, you really should be careful doing that because, like I said, them not acknowledging their privilege, yeah, that's a big problem.
All right, I got you. Calandra, appreciate you, sis. All right, let me go next up here to Ethereal. Go ahead, Ethereal. Started your timer.
Hi, everybody. Hi, panel. I just want to give you a background. I'm a Black American progressive, not a Republican. I am married to a white man. What I want to say to everybody, regardless of whatever race, I think Black women shortchange themselves. You are the most prettiest, smartest, resourceful people on earth. And no matter what man you encounter, you are the prize. Number one. Doesn't matter who's the worst man statistically or DVing. Whatever you encounter, you expect the most. If you don't have this mentality, it doesn't matter who you pick, it's always going to be a problem. We need to have self-esteem. I have a man right now doing a 13-hour shift supporting me because I wouldn't expect anything less. And that's the problem. It's not about white, it's not about black, it's about getting the best. We're about opportunities here. Be treated like the queens you are. And if one group happens to benefit, you use their privilege to your advantage. Trust me. My husband, I used his privilege to my advantage to help me and my people. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not even about race, it's about the opportunities. Whoever is at the top, and if they're going to benefit you, you do what you got to do. No putting anyone on pedestal because you should be on the pedestal. And that's it. I land my plane.
All right. I got you, Ethereal. I definitely agree with you for sure. I do think that black women need to raise their standards and choose the best option, regardless of the color of their skin. I definitely agree with you. Joseph, and that's up there at the top, sir. I'm sorry, I accidentally hit invite on you by mistake. But if you want to talk, you can. But that was actually a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to scroll up and read comments. Let me go over here next to Unwritten. Go ahead, Unwritten.
Hey y'all. Hey Trick. So yeah, I like this topic. I've been in the internet streets for a couple years now and was around when the swirling content became more popular, more so from CK, those, and it started with really character over color, opening your horizons and, going where you're quote unquote treated the best. And I think, I don't know, once it made its way over to TikTok or so, it started to then become more white male worship, where, women sharing their experiences dating interracially, women taking that and then saying, oh, it's because the man is white, therefore that's why, this woman is getting better treatment. And it's like, no, it's because of the character. It's because of, how he treats her, not because of the skin color. So I think women who originally was doing black male worship, they saw, oh, this is another group of men that I can now worship and put on a pedestal and who may, give me more. And I'm just going to go over here and worship these men because they may deserve the worship more. And it's like, no, you need to stop centering men and dating for character. So I think it's just been really good PR that white men have been having amongst black women, really. And women not understanding that the PR isn't based off of the skin color. It's based off of the character. And I think for the women who did start dating interracially, I did see a difference in what they decided to vet. It seems like they actually developed some standards. They developed criteria that the men had to meet when they started dating interracially that they didn't really have when they were dating in their race. And so, of course, you're going to get a different result when you are, choosing to date differently. But for the women who choose to date differently amongst all men, they seem to have, the same result across the board. So I don't, it's not the color of the man. It never was. So yeah, I'll end there.
All right. I got you unwritten. Appreciate you, sis. All right. I think Chris has something to say. You had something to say, Chris?
I had earlier, but it's been a minute, and so I don't entirely remember what it was now. Apologies.
Okay, no problem. Sorry about that. I just wanted to say, like, this is really how I feel when this topic comes up. I think that the collective of Black women are honestly disappointed in the way Black men collectively behave in the community. I've already said that I am completely aware of the treasonous nature, the buck broken nature of the collective of Black men. Of course, it's not all, but it's a large percentage. And everyone knows that Black women are grossly unprotected. Everyone knows that Black women very rarely receive protection from the men in their community and just from, society at large. And I think that a lot of Black women see that, especially now with social media, when you can see all of these videos and people talking about their experiences of being unprotected as Black women. And I think that because of that, Black women want to have an aha moment against Black men and want to be able to weaponize somebody against Black men and say, oh, you know what? Y'all won't do this. Y'all won't protect us. Y'all won't love us. Y'all won't do this, but they will, but they will, but they will. And I think that, even though I understand where that thought comes from, it's not possible. I just feel like it's just Black women's, unfortunately, it's our cup to have to deal with being the only demographic of women whose men are not protective as a collective, who care more about what they got going on than protecting the women and the children in their communities. Like if you see the violence that they enact against each other statistically and also us, then you will understand their mental state. You know what I'm saying? And just like Ethereal said, they say that they aren't our men. I saw a video of a Black man 2 days ago, bald headed, talking about the fact that he don't just play in the snow. He lives in the snow. And he said, we are not your men. We are not your men. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? Not that I say that anyway, but when they, need somebody to rally for them or to talk about things that they're going through, these other women never say anything collectively. When have you ever seen a whole rally or march for Black men and the police brutality, white women being there? And I'm not talking about a spattering of white women. I'm talking about they did all the organizing, all the rallying, and all you saw was the majority of white women there. You've never seen that and you never will. But like I said, I do feel like Black women want to be able to tell Black men, hey, y'all won't do it, somebody else will. And I don't think that is going to happen. So whether you put these other races of men on a pedestal or not, they're still not going to collectively rally around Black women. It's just not going to happen. And I think that the sooner Black women realize that, the better off they'll be. And realize that you will have to judge every man on an individual basis. You see that white man, you see that Black man, you see that Asian man, you see if that individual man will be a good man to you and will treat you like a queen, or however the standards that you have for treatment of yourself. You have to see if that individual man will do it. But collectively looking to anyone for protection, to be saved, to be loved, to be praised is not going to happen for Black women, unfortunately. It's just not going to happen. So all I'm saying is vet all men, look at all races of men on a case-by-case basis. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is just look at all men as a case-by-case basis, regardless of their race, because any man can treat you great and any man can treat you bad. And that's all I was ever trying to say. I was never trying to tell Black women to do anything or to stay with anyone. Let's see here. Okay, Ethereal and Gabrielle had something to say. I'll go to Ethereal
I
first.
also remembered what I was gonna say.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go get you guys. I'll go to Chris first because Chris remembered because she already was supposed to speak. Go ahead, Chris.
Cool. Thank you. No, before everybody, including myself, blocked Anna from our lives, she was talking about, oh well, black men cause the most DV, or like black men cause the most harm against black women. Everyone causes the most harm against themselves within their social group. It's called proximity. Um, like 70% of crimes caused against a person are going to be by someone they know. When it comes to SA, CA, and DV in particular, because it's usually within the home, or due to relationships, that jumps from 70% to 90% of crimes are going to be committed again by somebody you know. So even in this whole like, oh, black on black crime, cool, white on white crime is going to be higher because they're in proximity with each other. Asian on Asian crime is going to be in higher proximity because, or in higher statistics because they are in closer proximity to each other. So this whole black men are more violent, is like just disingenuous and misinformative in the fact that you're not giving like the full scope of everything. And again, very much to the host's point, to Trigger's point, like it's not that to say that like black men aren't harmful, but to say that like, oh, they're the worst is again immensely disingenuous. And also, even in terms of if you're going to be in a DV case with a black man, you're still more likely going to get justice than if you were going to have any other partner. Because of the way that the law and the system is biased against black women, like first and foremost, that is the primary issue. And again, very much to the host's point, it's not the issue of interracial relationships. It is the issue of using that interracial relationship to then deface, defame, and demean people within your race. Oh, black women are foolish for not dating outside. Oh, this is why the Latin guy that I'm dating, the Asian guy that I'm dating, the white guy that I'm dating are so much better than black men. Like, don't do that. That is the issue that so many people have, is weaponizing the interracial relationship against people within your own demographic. It's a problem, and it also ends up making your kids hate themselves.
All right. I got you, Chris. I had something in response to that, but all of these ladies got to speak. I got 3 people that need to speak, so I'll come back. Okay, so I'll go to Ethereal first, and then I'll go to Gabrielle, and then I'll go to Michael. Go ahead, Miss. Yeah, go ahead, Ethereal.
Yes. So what I wanted to say is that one thing about, and you can fight me, black men have no problem letting the world know that they delineated from us. They have no problem weaponizing their women against us. I want to tell everybody I've traveled all over the world. I've stayed in Northern Europe for several months and everything. And this is what happens when I have conversations, whether it be with the men or the women. Stereotypes may come. They ask questions, and I'm like, where do you get this information from? They tell me 2 things. Well, I've seen it in the rap videos. I've talked to some black guys, and they said how loud and this and that. Sometimes, unfortunately, not all, but some black men do, join in this, defaming of us as black women. For whatever reason, I do not know. And I'm not telling black women to do the same thing, because when they go low, we go high. But at the end of the day, we have to walk in silence. We don't have to say it. Let's show our men, quote unquote, that since you want to, if some of you black men disrespect us and spread hate among the world, when we travel and talk about how bad we are, we're gold diggers and everything, our silence is to have high standards, to only require the best of the best, whether it be from them or anyone else. And that's what we have to do, because that is treason. If they want to date whatever race, that's fine, but they really do make a point to let the world know, oh, I don't like the weaves and the this and the that, when we're not the ones that wear the weaves. Kardashians have made multi-million businesses copying our likeness. Our lips, our hips, our tans, everything has been co-opted. They make trillions of dollars, yet they bitch about us having one eyelash, maybe a weave, and they perpetuate it. I went to an all-white school here, a very prestigious private school here in New York, and I was a handful of Black people. And it was the Black guys that were picking on the dark-skinned African women, telling white guys, oh, they're ugly and this and that. They were doing that. And they were the ones that were joining in on racial attacks on people. And I want to be clear to everybody, not all Black men, but we need to give a silent protest that we will not tolerate that.
Okay.
And at the same time, if you have biracial kids, yes, you use that opportunity, that whatever way they come out and present it to the world, whether it be biracial or white passing, you let them know about their lineage and turn them into an ally, and to love both sides, but to always prioritize the Black side. I land my plane.
All right. I got you, Ethereal. All right, let me go down here to Gabrielle next, and then we'll go to Michael. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to respond to Kiana the Soul Guy in the comments, because she said something to the effect of, oh, women dating for perks doesn't move women forward. And I'm not even entirely sure I know what that's supposed to mean, because I absolutely think that if you are dating a man, there should be perks in it. That man should respect and like she's saying in the comments that a lot of women don't move with integrity and push the patriarchy for it. Like, honestly, that perspective combined with what you said earlier, it just really does feel male centered, because it's like, if women are not dating for perks, then what's the point of dating? Are we supposed to just, like, I don't know, like, date for political reasons, date for collective reasons? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, dating, exactly, unwritten love, got it right. Dating for just as what exactly does not make any sense, regardless of the race of the man that you are dating. You absolutely should be dating for perks. That man, regardless of what color he is, should be improving your life, should be making your life better, should be opening doors for you, should be paying for dates, should be bringing something to your life. Like, obviously, you should have your own life and your own stuff together, but beyond that, he should be adding to what you already have. If there's not any perks in dating, it doesn't make any sense. And like, I just don't understand this. I don't understand that perspective from Kiana. I do think it's very male centered to denigrate women who do date for perks. There have been several ladies on the panel who've talked about great relationships they're in. And Kiana is saying in the comments that, oh, women dating for perks doesn't move women forward. I would argue that it does, because when women see other women dating for perks, we see examples of things that are possible, and it helps contribute to us as women having higher standards and not accepting men who are bottom shelf regardless of their race. So I can't get on board with Kiana's perspective. I absolutely believe as a woman, you should be dating for perks, because if you're not dating for perks, then that man is objectively draining from you. And okay, yeah, she just said in the comments, then why date at all? It's like, okay, if you don't want to date, then don't date. Like, no one's telling you to date, but for women who do want to date, there should absolutely be perks in it. Like, what you're saying, it just objectively doesn't make sense. I'm not even trying to be funny. It just really doesn't make sense from a logical level. It's like, dating is supposed to enhance your life. It's not supposed to drain you or be some huge sacrifice. So yeah, I really just had to push back on that. Thank you.
All right, Gabrielle. Let me say this. You as a married woman, you are supposed to date somebody that can help you out, that can improve and add to your life. Why wouldn't you? So why wouldn't you choose to give a man your time that can actually help you and put you in a better position to win? Because most of the time, a man is not going to want to look at you or be with you if he doesn't find you attractive, beautiful, desirable, whatever, because that's what men seem to value a lot. So they're not going to be like, oh, why am I dating for looks? Why am I dating for this, that, and the third? Men choose ways and avenues to serve themselves. And I have no idea why it's demonized when women do the same. But I do think that a lot of times when women say things like that to other women, it's because they're in a state of themselves of, like, respectfully misery, and they they have made the wrong choices and they want you to make the wrong choices as well. Because I just went to Kiana the Soul Guide's TikTok, and I've just found a video of you, sis, where it says we don't want to hear nothing about no man, and you're asking where the money is at, and you're talking about being tired of working a 9 to 5 and not having any money and things like that. So I would say while you're advocating against women dating for perks and trying to find somebody, I don't know if you want somebody to be in your position that you're in. I don't know. No shade, but I'm just saying, like, I find it to be weird that you have those type of videos on as you're telling other women to, yeah, okay. Anywho, let me just keep going. And then the other thing, I wanted to say is what was said about like black men and violence and proximity. All of that is true, that people tend to harm people that are in proximity to them. But with that being said, black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived by a black man than a white woman is to be unalived by a white man. So we have to unpack why it is easier for black women to be unalived at the hands of a black man. And I have my own thoughts about this, about the devaluing of blackness and how black men have taken the idea that black life is worthless from the lens of white men, and they chose to enact that on people in their own community, which is why they're quicker to toe tag a man that looks like them and also a woman that looks like them. I think it has something to do with that. But there is a reason, and there is a higher instance of violence that is enacted against black women on black men, and we can't let them get out of that as well, because that is absolutely true. But let me keep going to Michael, because you said in the comments that I was a liar. So I just want to know what did I say that was a lie. I'll start your timer. Go ahead, Michael. I sent you a request to turn your timer. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I don't remember what you exactly said, but I think it was more your narrative.
What narrative?
I think it was the violence part. I can't even really remember.
The violence part is a fact. It's a actual fact. So it's not a narrative. You can go look it up yourself and find out that it's actually factual. So me telling the truth about something can't be a narrative when it's actually a fact. So what did I say that was a lie?
I know we like have domestic violence in our community is bad, but I also think that in terms of in the world, in terms of other races, like we're not number one. We don't treat our women worse than a lot of these other races of men. We also deal with the most disrespect. And I feel like that plays a part of it.
You know what? I gotta interject on you there. And once again, what you're yeah, just 1 second. What I really want to say is that you keep saying that you think. What I'm saying is I know, like, black women are 6 times more likely to be unalive. That's a fact, by a black man. So you talking about disrespect or whatever. If we're talking about disrespect, there's equal disrespect going on. So how come black women are unaliving black men 6 times more than anybody else? How come we're not doing that? So y'all are unaliving black women at a 6 times higher rate and also unaliving each other. So does that mean when you guys are unaliving each other at higher rates than other demographics, does that mean that not only, because what would be the common denominator there? If you're unaliving black women at a 6 times higher rate, you're unaliving each other at a higher rate, and your excuse for that is disrespect. That would mean that y'all are the ones engaging in the disrespect, seeing as though that you're doing that to each other and to us. So a lot of times when I give black men statistics, y'all want to call me a liar or y'all want to say a narrative. I can't paint a narrative that isn't based in reality when I'm giving you facts to prove what I'm saying. That's not a narrative. That's just a fact. Now, you may not like how it feels to hear it, but it is indeed the truth. And I'm not saying that other races of men don't do things across the world to their women or to the women in their communities, however you want me to package that. Sure. But what I'm saying is we're not talking about them because I'm black and you're black. So we're talking about what's going on with black people. And in the black community, black men are way more likely to unalive the women in their community, even more so than white men are likely to unalive the women in their community. That's an uncomfortable fact. You have to accept that. That may not be you. You may not do that, but it is happening. And to disregard that is to be disrespectful. Yeah.
To
I mean,
disregard
I
it
don't
is to
even really.
support it to keep happening.
I
If you don't
don't.
like
Before
it, you
y'all
want
go,
to
I just
act to
wanted to
change
say.
it.
Now
I
I
just
got
want.
something to say because with that one comment he just made, I did have a problem with it.
What comment? What comment, Calandra?
Comment that he made talking about some we don't respect our men how other women do. You're damn right. Because at the end of the day, every day on my TikTok feed, I see white women being dogged out when it comes to their children. That one white woman who went out of town for 4 days and he didn't even have the decency to get them kids a bath. You white black women won't let y'all treat us like that. Y'all would like to walk over men, walk over women, treat them any kind of way. And at the end of the day, black men, y'all don't value family. You don't value anything. And you want women to be a puppy dog to you, homeboy. That ain't never gonna happen. Because unlike some race of women who are taught you should go be married and go date a rich man. No, sis, black women, we're becoming the rich people and we're successful. And that don't make us rich men. That make us successful women. Y'all want women to be subservient to y'all, and that ain't gonna happen. If you want a woman where you ain't gotta do nothing except forgive her your PD whacker, then go date them. That does not bother us at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, they get treated like crap in marriages too. Every day you see all those white women. It was a white woman holding her baby and holding the little toddler's hand, and the man is on his phone. And every day women post videos like that. And when women who tell them, hey, maybe you should leave him, maybe that's not the move you should make, white women be like, nah, I ain't leaving my man. I ain't leaving my man. And like I said, at the end of the day, if that's what y'all want, go be with it. But for me, if I'm having kids with a man, I don't care if I'm married to him or not. I go out of town for a week and I come back home and my son's hair is stick together. I'm burning all your clothes and I'm going to throw candy on them and we're going to stick them together.
I just want to say, I don't know what anybody's TikTok looks like or your Instagram or, your Twitter feed or whatever the case may be, but white women are out here hooting and hollering about white men every day. About how bad they are and this, that, and the third. So I don't know where this whole white women respect white men is coming from. Now I do know that they side with them during like elections and things like that. They always put their whiteness above their gender. But white women be talking real greasy about white men. So I don't even know what y'all talk about the respect factor. But let me finish, let Michael speak, because I did interject on Michael so that Michael can finish. Also restart your timer, Michael. Go ahead.
I wasn't saying your stats was a lie. I ain't, like I said, I don't even remember what I was pinpointing when I was like lies, but I think it was like a narrative you said. I didn't say your stats was a lie or nothing like that. But I think it's more of a us problem than just a black man. Like, man, it's us as a whole. There's a lot of issues that's been going on that people been created from even before our time, and it's like, man, it's shit. It look unfixable, to be honest.
I'll just say, like, I noticed that when I talk about this, a lot of men will say, like, it's an us problem. I just feel like if it's an us problem, then how come black women aren't doing the same thing to black men? How come black women aren't out here toe tagging black men? How come black women aren't out here committing the majority of the violent acts and crime in the black community? If it's a equal share here in the issue, it's not. It's not. And I think that until black men, and this is no disrespect to you, because I'm not saying that it's you, but I feel like until black men can admit that is indeed a problem that mostly rests on the black male community's shoulders, there will be no improvement. There will be no improvement because you can't even accept that you're the problem. And if you can't accept that you're the problem and realize that, how can you ever fix the problem if you don't think you have a problem to begin with? It will never happen. It will never be able to be resolved, in my opinion. But let me keep going here. Unless were you done, Mike?
No, I mean, because that's what you saying is saying that every relationship in the black community is the black man's problem.
No, I didn't say that. You put words in my mouth. I said collectively. Collectively. I didn't say every black man is bad. Every black relationship is bad. I didn't say that. I said collectively, but collectively there is a problem. When you, like I said before, when you talk about the fact that black women and black girls are the most ex-trafficked, even though they're one of the smallest demographics in the United States. When you look into who's doing the ex-trafficking, the forced sexual servitude, it's black men. When you're looking at the black women that are being unalived, that is black men doing that. So there is a problem and it's not on the same level. That's not to say that you're doing that. I don't know you, but it is to say that there is a problem with the men in the black community. Like that is
Yeah,
a
it
problem.
is. Yeah, it is.
And can I add on to that? It's not that it's just the problem. I think it's the bulk of the problems. I think you all hyperfixate on issues that you have with black women, and you look at that as equivalent to the issues of black men, and it's just not an equal. It's not an equal playing field. Majority of the issues within our community would be solved if black men focus on the problems that they create. Truth be told, and for black women focusing on the problems that are within our womanhood, it wouldn't move the needle as much as if you invest in other black men and helping them. I think it stems from a lot of emotional regulation or a lack of emotional regulation. I think a lot of the violence and the crime is due to that, not being able to understand your emotions as well as be able to safely express them. And then it results to physical violence more so. So I think you going and investing in other men in your community, Michael, helping them with emotional regulation is going to help your community tremendously versus coming on panels with women trying to point fingers.
I mean, I'm not trying to do
Exactly.
that. That's I mean, yeah, but look at the man that we choose in our community to lead our community.
But that's the thing. No, we don't necessarily need leaders. You just need individual people to have self-regulation.
Like, look
Right?
who is the fathers in our community.
Right. Who are the fathers in our community?
The women chose.
They chose to be fathers too.
It's part of a cycle
No,
that
he's talking about the choose better dynamic. And I really wish that y'all would stop doing that because that's also a way to avoid
right.
accountability.
Yeah,
Because
I
if
think it's
there's a
still,
large
and it's like
percentage,
this is still
Can I
the
hold on,
man
you
though,
touch
guys.
on
Michael.
that?
If you guys if there's a large percentage of because black women overwhelmingly choose black men the most, and y'all like to say the choose better thing when it's convenient for you. Because anytime a black woman talks about, and I'll say this, and I can say this with absolute certainty, I did a live where the title was "Do Not Date Felons." Do you know how many black men came up and talked about, why y'all doing that? Don't not date felons. Y'all being discriminatory. Y'all shouldn't have no choices. Anytime I say do not date broke men, what are you talking about? You can give a broke man a chance. You can give a man, y'all being too picky. So y'all just choose that whole choose better dynamic when y'all can weaponize it against black women. Y'all really don't want black women to choose better, because if black women really actively as a collective chose better, the majority of black men wouldn't be chosen at all. Like y'all would literally be alone in the house, every last one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I don't
But
like
that'll
that
force
women
man
choose
to
that as
do
a weapon.
better. That'll force man to be better. They ain't just
But
gonna sit in the house forever.
okay,
You know
well
what? The same women that you say that should choose better was the mother that took care of you when he left. The same person that you said should choose better would be the one to bail you out if your ass was in jail. The same woman that you say that should choose better would be the person that would feed you when you needed it. Remember that.
yeah, I mean, I don't even, like I said, you guys, I don't really get into the choose better conversation because that's never a thing. Black men really collectively don't want you to choose better. Because anytime you ever see a black woman speak about the standards that she has, high standards, oh, I don't want a man that does this, that, and the third, there is an outpouring of vitriol, anger, rage towards that woman to tell her that she doesn't deserve any better. So yeah, but I'm gonna keep going. Let me go up here to next to Kiana the Soul Guide. Maybe you could clarify some of your comments. I'll get you started. Go ahead. I started your timer, Kiana. Are you there? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I watch your live a lot, so thank you for adding me up. And to the ladies on the panel, especially Gabrielle, I wasn't trying to say something that discredits y'all as women or your decision or whatever y'all decide to do in your life. I'm just saying, I feel like women have a bigger purpose on the planet as the feminine, and I don't think it's a bad idea for women to collectively be celibate and take a break from dating. That might not be everybody's journey, and I respect that, but that's all I was saying. So I don't know where the confusion came from or what's going on, but I be on your channel a lot. So I just didn't understand why it was so much negative feedback from what I was saying. Maybe she took it wrong. I don't know. But that's kind of all I needed to say.
All right, I got you, Kiana. I think Gabrielle wants to respond to you. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think there's any confusion, and I think there's a difference between confusion and just us not agreeing with you, which we're allowed to disagree with you, just like you're allowed to disagree with us. At the end of the day, I don't think it's right to tell women that we should not date for perks, because if you're not dating for perks, then what are you doing? Why are you dating? And it's fine if you don't want to date. No one's telling you absolutely have to date a man, but not every woman wants to be celibate. Some women do want romance. Some of us do want to date. Some women do want to get married and have kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. So for women who do want to date, it makes sense to date for perks. Like, it just, there's no confusion here. Like, I'm definitely not confused. I heard exactly, or I read exactly what you said, and I just don't agree with it. And I do think it's misguided. And even when you say that men move as a unit, men move with patriarchy, it's like, yeah, that's collectively true. But on an individual level, men do date for perks, whether they think those perks are local, whether they think those perks are whether or not a woman will cook or clean. So everyone, for the most part, is dating for perks. And so telling us as women that we should not be dating for perks, I think that's wrong. I think that's misguided. So I'm not confused. I just don't agree with you. And I'm just, giving pushback to it. So.
Okay, so now that I understand what you're saying, um, sometimes those perks can look like women not moving with the highest integrity. Some women will throw a woman under the bus. Like, we see what's going on out here. Women will, set you up to be SA'd for male attention, male validation. That's why I was saying it depends on your perspective of what perks. So you may not move like that. You may be moving with, whatever perks that benefit you. But some women, just for the attention and male validation, it screws up the collective of women. Do they not?
But that's an apples to oranges argument. Like, because how do you go from telling women don't date to perks to talking about women setting up other women? Like, obviously it's
Because
wrong
that's
to
a
set up.
perk. Because
Can you let
that's a
me
perk
finish?
for
Can you let me
women.
finish? Can you not filibuster? Can you please let me finish? Because I really was quiet and listened to you.
Okay,
I
no
really
problem. But I
thank
think you should calm down and
No, no, no,
relax,
no,
because
no. I really
I
need you to
came
let me
on
finish.
here.
I need you to let me finish and not filibuster, not
It's
try to
no
talk over
problem, but you don't
you.
have
I
to speak
didn't
with that
talk
tone.
over you. I did
Yeah,
not talk
okay,
over
go ahead. Go.
you. Thank you so much. Okay, so like I was saying, I really do think that is an apples to oranges argument for you to go from telling women don't date to perks and then, or don't date for perks, and then jumping to, oh, some women set up other women to be SA. That is true, and that is wrong for those women to do that to other women, but the two are not even remotely, like, they don't have anything to do with each other. We're talking about women who choose to date men. There should absolutely be perks in it. And that, again, back to my original point, I am saying that I do believe that you are wrong to tell other women not who do want to date. Again, if you don't want to date, don't date. That's completely fine. But for those of us who do want to date men who are of a certain caliber, there should be perks in it. And I just feel like you mentioning the other stuff about like male-centered women who set up other women, I feel like that's you trying to deflect, because respectfully, I'm kind of dismantling your point. And the host said that you had videos on your page where you were talking about, oh, where are the men? Where's the money at? So you yourself, you date for perks based on that alone. Like, but you're telling us not to date for perks. So that is my response to what you're saying. I don't think you're
It's
right.
not about a man giving me money. It was about, as a woman, leveling up your life. If you go watch the video, I have been celibate for 4 years. And again, Gabrielle and every other woman, because I really do respect women and respect the feminine, I respect what you're saying. And I'm really not trying to come on here and make it seem like I'm bashing y'all for dating. I'm just speaking on my opinion. I feel like women as a collective, we have a higher purpose. It's bigger than this human stuff. It's bigger than just dating for perks and all of that. There's a bigger soul purpose here. That's what I'm saying. So if you feel like you want to date for perks and all that stuff, okay, cool. But I'm entitled to my opinion. So that's what it was about.
And you are entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm just saying you came in a panel where the topic has, or the prompts have to do with dating. So I think most women in here are probably interested in dating men. That's just my guess from the way the conversation is going. So it's fine if you don't want to do that. I don't think anyone is telling you you have to date. I'm definitely not, but I'm just saying the prompt is about dating. So right off the bat, we're talking about dating. So in that context, we should automatically be dating for perks. And I'm just going to one more time, go back to your videos. If you have videos on your page where you're talking about where's the money at, then you are objectively dating for perks, and that's fine
But
because
I'm
financially,
not. I'm
Just
not
one
saying that
second, you
I'm
guys.
dating.
Hold on, you guys. Just one second. I just wanted to ask you, Kiana, like you said that like it's a higher purpose. What is the higher purpose that you think, for women?
The healing, for me, it's the healing of women. Women need a lot of emotional healing on a soul level before you could be ready for anybody. We haven't learned ourselves. It's from the moment we were children, we were pushed into love has to come from someone, whether it's a man, some outside source. I feel like women never had an opportunity as young girls to know the love of different things, piano, music, dance, something else. So I mean, and I understand what she's saying. Your lives, to me, when I come on here, every woman is open to say whatever they want to say about, whatever. Yeah, stick to the topic, but you just have a safe place for women to come. And I thought it was cool for me to just speak my opinion. But I don't
Oh
want to.
no, it's cool for you to speak your opinion, Kiana. There's no problem. I was listening
Yeah.
to you. You can keep
I
going.
don't want to. I don't want to make women like I'm not with that. I don't ever say something to make women feel bad or talk down. Like I'm not that type of person. And that video was saying where the money at for me to move up in a different way in my life. Not where tell these men where the money at. I don't. Anyone who know me. I don't do that. I just don't. I barely, as y'all can see, feel comfortable speaking on a live, but I don't ever want to go and do anything in my life where a woman feel like I disrespected her. So that's why I came up here to kind of just clarify what I was saying in the comments. I do feel like things are bigger than just being a human. Hence my name. We have a bigger. It's children out here being essayed and abused and all that stuff. Like we need to take a break and figure it out. Playing with men and all that is just. It's a waste of time to me.
Okay. All right, I got you. I got you, Kiana. I appreciate you for sharing your perspective. And like I said, you're welcome to share your perspective. Like I think, as I say this, I can't speak for anybody else on the panel, but I think it's always good when we have varying opinions on the panel, whether I agree or not, because that way it's not an echo chamber. We can all have, everybody can see all different thoughts and perspectives on things. So I don't have any issue with like you expressing yourself. You or Gabrielle. Like I appreciate the both of you guys. All right, so I'm gonna keep going up here. I'm gonna go to Avi again. I think Avi has something to say. Go ahead, Avi.
I think one of the issues that we have to address with a lot of Black women is being in pseudo relationships for 2 and 3 years. Being in, relationship A for 2 years, and relationship B for 3 years. And you could end up wasting a lot of your time. I think up front, you need to decide what you want and go after that and don't accept or participate in anything other than that. And the last thing I would like to say, it seems to me, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, is that, oftentimes Black men say that Black women don't respect them, but it's like they want us to be the men in the community, but they just want the credit for the success of the community. You know what I mean? They don't want to be the people out here in the trenches doing everything, but they do want to be treated and respected as men. Thank you.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, Avi. All right, let me go next up here to Spotty. Hey, how you doing, Spotty?
Hey Trig, good morning.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
ladies. I just wanted to come up here quick and say my little piece. Sorry if it sounds like I'm out of breath. So I wanted to come in as somebody who did date both, and I know that like I'm kind of young, but what I will say is we're all conditioned in some way to be subservient and to like rule romance and like men at the top. It's very, that conditioning starts very young. And as somebody who has been trying to come out of that, I really do enjoy your content and the space that you hold here for the women. So what I will say is my experience, men are men, and it doesn't matter what race they are, they're going to do whatever they want, regardless of how you feel like they love you or how good you are to them. They can still do whatever they want. And I think that should be what they look for. Look at how they treat you and not just the words that they say, so you don't get into this trapper where it looks confusing or anything like that. So I would just say focus on their treatment and is it reciprocated or not, because that's the worst, to be in a situation like that where you're giving everything and they're not giving anything. So I think that women should be careful. Focus on your dreams and your goals and the things that you want most and your personal interests and the things that you care about rather than romance and stuff. Because like I said, I am still very young. And I think women should strive for their own personal goals and interests instead of like men. That's just my personal opinion. But like I said, I'm still very young and I'm not going to lie and say that I don't want a man in romance one day. But what I am saying right now is that I'm very young, so I'm focusing on myself. And I don't think there's a problem with that either. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
All right, I got you. Michael, 5724, who said that fathers need to start leading in the black community. I really need y'all to like get a grip and get into reality. The world is patriarchal. And as much as people say that the black community is a matriarchy, which there are a lot of black women that coddle black men and support them and things like that, but black men still are the public leaders. That's the reason why y'all are everywhere hooting and hollering about submission, and how you have somebody like Todd who didn't have the money that Candy had but wants to be in charge of the money. How do you want to be in charge of money that you ain't even have a hand in making? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all want this illusion of leadership and y'all listen to each other way more than y'all listen to the women in y'all communities. So y'all got to stop it. Anytime when young black men go off the rails and get involved in any type of criminality or bad behavior, they had a grandma, they had a mom, they had a sister, they had an auntie that was telling them the ways that they should do, they should have listened to, but they chose to listen to who? Men in their community that were telling them the wrong way to go, and that's what they chose to listen to and pedestalize. So y'all got to stop this game that y'all are not in control and that people don't listen to y'all and that y'all are not running anything. If we were truly being led by women in the black community, there wouldn't be all this crime. There wouldn't be all of this unaliving. There wouldn't be all of this baby mama making. There wouldn't be any of that. There wouldn't. Are you married, Michael? Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna bring you. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can add you back up. You sent a request. First, I have a couple questions to ask you. And I want you to answer those first before we can have a conversation. Do you have any children, Michael?
Yeah, I got a daughter.
Okay. Are you married?
No.
Okay. So once again, you're also part of the problem that we're talking about. You were out here having intercourse with women and not making any of those your wives. You created a child, didn't make a wife either. You made a baby mama and you made a broken home, but yet you're talking about leadership. Leadership could be the leadership that you choose to do. So you could have chose to lead your penis to somebody that you were going to make them your wife before you made them a mother. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all say that I'm telling lies, but y'all personal lives, y'all existence prove that I'm telling the truth about
But
everything.
I'm here. I'm here with my family. What you mean?
Yeah, if you're here with your family, why haven't you put a ring on that lady's finger?
Because I ain't putting a ring in her
Oh,
finger
why
yet.
not? Why not?
What I mean, the issue is that
No,
that
just
doesn't,
tell me why. No, I'm not gonna let you get out of that. Why haven't you made her your wife? How come you haven't put a ring on her finger?
because I'm not ready yet. We not ready
You're
yet.
okay. You're not ready to make her a wife, but you were ready to make her a mother and live up in her house and live with her.
We was
Because
just
you said
having
you're there
we.
right now.
I mean, that's what happened.
Okay, so what's the difference in you going downtown to get some paperwork at the courthouse and then you be her husband as opposed to you living in her house, having intercourse with her, having her have
I'm
your
not living
babies,
in
and
her
you still not
house.
marry her? Okay, you said you was there with her, so
That
So
means
what's the
I'm
difference?
here with my family. I'm not.
Okay,
We
so
not
once again,
apart.
how old are you? How old are you, Michael?
I'm 30.
Okay, so you 30. You've made a broken home.
I didn't
You
make a
are with a
broken home. We
woman.
together. What
But
do you?
you're together. Why can't you marry her?
Because we ain't got married yet.
Okay, so who's in charge of being married? Is it the man or the woman? Who's in charge of making the marriage official? Most of the
Both of
time,
y'all.
the man, right?
I
Because
mean,
can
she
she
got to
get
say yes.
okay, right, exactly. So my thing is, you talk about leadership, but you're not a leader in your own life. You're not being a change that you want to see. So you're out here talking about black women should choose better.
I am.
You're,
What are you talking
okay,
about?
so you just said that black women should choose better. So your girl, your baby mama, if she chose better, y'all child wouldn't have even existed. So her choosing better was not choosing you and not being made a baby mama. And that's my thing right there is that y'all tell black women that y'all want them to choose better, but you really don't. Because if she chose a man that was serious about her, that would make her a wife instead of impregnating her and leaving her a single mother, then what? What is that? That
She's not
her
a single
choosing better
mother.
would not be to choose you. And you are not the change that you want to see because you're out here putting your private parts in women and making them single mothers. You get what I'm saying? So I wish that y'all would stop this hypocrisy because when y'all come and say all of these things, y'all are never living the life that y'all want black women to live. Okay? You want
Okay,
black
this is what I
women
was
to
saying.
choose great men. Y'all want black women to choose these great men that are going to make them wise. And y'all are not those men. So where are those men at? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're not ready. You're not
I'm
ready
ready. As long as I'm
you're not
raising my
ready to have a
daughter, as
wife.
long as I'm
You're not
raising my
ready to have a
daughter, I'm
wife,
doing my
but you're
part.
ready to have a baby. That's the
No, because
perfect
you're not a
Pookie mentality
husband.
that I'm talking about. And that's what I'm talking about. It's the exactly the Pookie mentality that I'm talking about. You're not ready to be a husband, but you're ready to make a mother. And the reason why you're ready to make a mother and not make a wife is because motherhood and parenting is not something that you think is a shared responsibility. You think most of that burden is going to rest on the mother's shoulder. And that's the reason why y'all be like, oh, I'm not ready to get married. I'm not ready to be a husband. I'm not ready for that. But I'm sure ready to make this woman a baby mama because you really think that motherhood and parenting is really going to rely mostly on that black woman. And that's my thing. And that's the reason right there in a nutshell that the
You
black
putting
community
words in my
is in
mouth,
shambles. I
man.
didn't put words in your mouth. You
You
said
is.
it.
You
Your
know.
actions
You
show it.
know.
I don't listen to words that men say. I don't. I look at men's actions because a man's actions is going to tell it all every day. The fact that you have a child and you have a woman and you've made her a single mother and you've not made her your wife and you out of your own mouth, out of your own volition said that you're not ready to be a husband, but you are ready to be a father shows your mentality in a nutshell. That you are part of the problem of the black men that we're speaking about. And that everything that you said has been pure hypocrisy. And it's
How?
really just that simple. But you go ahead and have a great day. Because just like you wanted to call me a liar in the chat, I don't talk to hypocrites. Okay? How dare you say anything about me when you're not living the life that you say that you want black women to live? That black women should choose better. Look at these unruly black women choosing these black men that won't marry them when you're one of those niggas. Respectfully, please get out of here with that. Go tend to your baby
I'm
mama
telling you,
and go to
Trillis,
the
the
doggone
jokes write
courthouse.
themselves. The jokes
Read.
write themselves.
They,
Because
they
ain't
do,
no
they
way you
do.
telling women to choose better. You have a kid. Having a kid is a bigger commitment than marriage. You still have to deal with her after with those kids. Like what
This
the
is really
fuck?
crazy. This
Marriage
is
is
real
very
crazy to me.
important. If you have a decent job and you leave the earth, your stuff goes to the next of kin, not the woman you
He
had.
don't care about none of that. He
If
don't care
he
about none of
had.
that. He don't care about none of that. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like I see this type of hypocrisy from black men often when they come in the box, and I just find it to be crazy. I really, really, really do. It just doesn't make any sense. And I am so embarrassed for y'all because I had this live where I'm talking about, do you think that white men treat you better? And that all men have the propensity to treat you bad. But then y'all come up here and really make yourselves look horrible. It's every single solitary time. Black men come up here and I'm like, maybe one of you guys will show some type of, and y'all let me down. I would say nine times out of 10, it's a couple black men that I've had come up here in the boxes that have some, intelligence and intellect and self-respect, and they respect the women in their lives. But 9 times out of 10, more often than not, y'all don't. And I think that that's just like really, really crazy. It's really embarrassing on y'all behalf. It really is. But like I said, this man said in the comments that I told his whole story. No, I didn't. I asked you the questions that I knew what the answer was going to be. And the answers were exactly what I thought. You said that black women should choose better, right? And you are acting like you also said that it's an equal share of the problems. But you're out here making baby mamas and single mothers talking about women should choose better. And like I said, if that was the case, you wouldn't, and I said that earlier, that if black women actually chose better collectively, the majority of y'all would not even be dating or be in a relationship or partnership with anybody. Because if she had identified that you were a man that was going to waste her time and waste her womb, you wouldn't even have a child. You wouldn't even have one. She would
And
have had that
notice
child with somebody else. You're not a good guy. Good men don't waste women's time. Good
and notice
women,
how he
good.
said, oh sorry, quick trick.
I was just going to say, good men do not make women mothers before they make them wives. That's not what good men do. Who was that? Go ahead, Unwritten.
No, and notice how he said, as long as I'm taking care of my kid, that's all that matters. It's like he has no regard for taking care of the woman at all. They never take on the responsibility of taking, because that's what being a husband is. They're okay with being a father in a sense, because they know that that's for women to take care of. However, being a husband means you're taking care of that woman. And so he's telling the truth. I'm not ready to take care of that woman. I'm not ready
Exactly.
to actually commit to the woman. I'm not ready
And,
to actually step
and,
up and be there for the woman.
and you know
But
what I
yet,
want to say? I want to say that babies tie women to men. Babies tie men to women, and marriage ties men to women. And that's the reason why they will make you a mother before they make you a wife, because babies will tie you to them, but it will give them no tie to you. It will
yep,
not. And that is the reason why he can sit there and say, I am not ready to be a husband, but I am ready to be a father. Because he knows that the burden of everything that goes on with motherhood, with parenting, the lion's share of that will rest on that black woman. The shame will rest on that black woman. You don't very rarely hear black baby daddies being shamed. Women still
they
give them
get
Negroes the
praised.
time and
Single
opportunity.
fathers, they're
But
praised.
yeah, exactly. Single fathers are praised, but he knows that the shame and all of that is going to rest firmly on your shoulders. So come on now, this is just nuts. But let me keep going. Because I knew that he would expose himself just the way he was talking, and it's so difficult to even have conversations with them because they're just so slow on the uptake. Like the critical thinking, the comprehension is lacking so poorly that it's just like it's very difficult to have a conversation with them because it's almost like you're talking to somebody that is so like they're so intellectually
I go ahead
inferior
and block him,
as a
Trigger.
collective. It's nuts. Yeah, you can block them. You can block them. You can block them.
There you
So
go.
intellectually inferior, it's just really crazy. Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. Like, that's really the truth. Like, I can tell you that I only, on one hand, have I met a black man that has been intellectually on my level. My dad is one. My husband now is one, and one other man that I talked to. So three. And that's actually that's so terrible. But let me just keep going. I think it was Avi that had something to say. Did you say something already? Abby? Or was that you? I don't know. She's not saying nothing, so maybe it wasn't her. Um, anyway, if any black woman doesn't take anything from that interjection that y'all just heard right there, do not have these men's babies. I'm gonna let you guys have an open panel right now because I'm gonna be ending this live very soon. So go ahead, y'all.
I wanted to say straight off, don't let anybody shame you for your standards, okay? Don't ever think that other races of women are entitled to more you have. You deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to have a man that takes care of you and prioritize you. Don't let that happen. There's an agenda by all races to suppress us, because one thing about black women is if we have the hands of power by us, we can influence anybody. And they don't want that because we are strong. So don't let other races, black men, non-black people tell you that you can't get it. My husband is a doctor, and it doesn't matter if he's a doctor. It couldn't matter, but I knew that I wanted a certain person that was highly educated, hardworking, had family values. He could have been a veterinarian, he could have been a professor, but it was going to be somebody that was on my level. And yes, I did marry late in my 40s, but guess what? So what? I haven't been abused. I haven't been put through the mud and have my heart tainted and turned into a bitter woman because I did not take the bare minimum. And none of you need to either. That's it.
I got you. I got you. Ethereal. Does anybody else have anything to say, y'all?
Yeah, I just want to say I really agree with what Ethereal said. I think that is a great message. I definitely think that, there's nothing wrong with marrying later in life. I think that can actually, in a lot of cases, obviously not all, but be better because you know more about who you are. You have done more work on yourself. So, yeah, I mean, I think what you said is great. I think that absolutely, if you are going to date, have high standards, make sure you're getting something out of it. Make sure that man is the creme de la creme and make sure that he is, adding to your life and pouring into you in some way and making you better. So, yeah, I really agree with everything she said.
I wanted to say something quickly.
Oh, sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I was just talking. But I was muted. I just want to say this real quick and then I'll let Avi speak. I just want to say, I've been married for 16 years and I feel like, so I'm qualified. I feel like I'm qualified to say this. I think you will be, if you are interested in partnership or marriage or whatever, the best thing that you can do for yourself as a black woman specifically in dating, and this applies to no matter what the race of man that you're dating, is to vet extremely. And even more so than vetting, to make sure that you have a set of standards and expectations for men that you refuse to go against. It don't matter if you think he's fine. It don't matter if you like his personality for some reason. It don't matter if he's a sweet talker, a charmer. It doesn't matter. The standards that you have are the standards that you have and that you will never, ever shy away from those or go against those. If you have a set standards in place and you are extremely harsh on vetting and the first time you see something that make you feel like, I don't know, was that a red flag? Because if you have to ask, it was. That will protect you and help you come across the man that, if you're looking for somebody. This isn't to say that people have to be partnered up and find somebody, because I know there's plenty of black women that are happy alone and single. But I'm just saying that if you are looking, that's the number one thing that you should do. All of that. Don't look at the color of their skin because that's no guarantee that somebody's going to treat you right. You have to look at the character and quality of that man and vet, and have a certain whatever standards that you're looking for in a man. Do not shy away from them, because every bad situation that I've seen black women talk about, it's always, oh yeah, I went back on a few of my standards. Yeah, he didn't meet this, that, but he was like this or he was like that. So I decided to go ahead and entertain him. That's when you will go wrong. Absolutely and truly. And before you even think about, just a written saying, before you even think about engaging with the man, I'm talking about before you even think about giving him a French kiss. Okay? Take that man to the clinic and get a full blood workup on him to make sure that he has no STDs or STIs or nothing that he can give you that you cannot get rid of, or that you can get rid of, either or. Make sure, and don't take his word for it. No emails, no paperwork. Make sure that you are there with him and you get the results from the doctor, because men falsify information and paperwork and everything of that nature. So make sure you do all of those things. And, of course, that's not foolproof, but that's the closest thing that you're going to get to foolproof if you do that, But let me keep going. Go ahead, Abby. Sorry about that.
I want to sort of piggyback on what you said. I think black women, and I'm only speaking about black women, so, I don't really concern myself with other women. But I think black women also, if you're going to get in a relationship, you have to work on maintaining yourself, right? If you were working out before you met that man, keep working out. If you were a member of a book club, keep doing that, or whatever volunteer work you were doing. Because I have a girlfriend that I know when she's seeing somebody, because you don't hear from her. Maintain your friendships, maintain your life, and maintain yourself. You know what I mean? Like, keep doing the things that you enjoy about life. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, I feel like in terms of people putting other men on a pedestal, at the same time they put other men on the pedestal, they try to put black women down. I'm a dark complected black woman, and I've been told, oh, white men don't date dark complected black women. They only date ambiguous looking black women, or they only date these type of women. Or, white men don't date uh heavy women. They don't date big women. So don't listen to people tell, if you think you qualify for something, or you're interested in a certain person, just do that. Be you. Don't let other people tell you what you're not. Thank you.
All right, I got you. Yeah. Okay. I never mind. I'm not going to say that. That's too controversial. No, what I was about to say. So I will not say it. Anybody else? You guys have anything else to say?
I have one more thing to say. I just want to say, and it's a really great panel. I think if whatever your goals are, find, if you can't find a role model in your family, look and search. Get with groups that think like you. If you have goals, and whatever the goals is, whatever it is, whether you want to date, whether you want to level up, be around people that made it. Ask questions, take notes, be around successful people. Be quiet about your success, whatever that is, because jealous people are everywhere. You'd be surprised who you find. Move in silence, but progressively move up. And that's it.
All right. I got you. Okay, so I guess you guys said that y'all want me to say it. I'm gonna say it, but it's messy. I just feel like, also, I think that sometimes black women want to be lied to and they don't want to be told the truth, which is why you have black women that follow like Ashley Dalton and like Shira Seven, and will believe that all black women are going to run across these rich non-black men that are going to want them, and that can look any type of way. And I think that it's just not true. Now, you may find outlier situations, but we have to be honest about the truth. Like, even when we talk about white men, if y'all talking about getting like the top of the top white man, like that has some money and is like extremely attractive and like desirable, like women want him. Like, I really feel like y'all know how white men get down. And I think that the majority of white men that I've seen, especially attractive white men, have been with slim or slender fit black women. Most of the time I see them date with a darker skinned black woman, because I do think that's true, even though brown to dark skinned. But y'all gotta stop, I feel like not telling the truth about certain things. Like, if you have a man that is of the top percentage of men, attractive, handsome, tall, got money, you think that he doesn't know that he's an outlier? He knows that too. He knows he got options just like you do. So you think he's going to choose a certain type of woman because of what? Because it's you? Like, we gotta start being real. So this isn't to body shame anyone, but you're more than likely, if you look a certain way, you're not going to be able to get that man. You're not. And I think that it's a lot of times that, and this, I don't even want to make this like because I don't want to make it sound like I'm centering males, but in this particular time, since we're talking about males, I have to talk about what they like and desire. Now, if you don't care what men like or they desire, you don't care about them, then you don't care about them, then you can look how you want, present how you want, because who cares? Because at the end of the day, you're not trying to get with any of them. But there are certain things that are going to go a certain type of way if you're looking for a certain type of man. And I think that sometimes black women will live in this delusion because these goofy women have gone online and told you that all you have to do is change your hair and you're going to get these men. And it's just not true. And, or even the other black women that'll tell you like Shira Seven was talking about how rich men don't want to see kinky hair. They want to see straight hair. So make sure you press your hair out or have a weave in or something like that, so you can attract all of these rich men, and just stupid stuff. Because it's like the majority of these rich men are not even going to be, never mind. Y'all get what I'm saying without me going down the line. Like I just,
And can I
yeah,
add to that? Can I add to the
yeah,
controversy?
yes.
Um, so just people in general, they date in proximity. So if you are not in a certain area or of a certain class, it's also a challenge. So I'm just going to say, you know, people tend to date within their circle, not necessarily like their friends, but like friends of a friend, or if you are a part of a certain routine. So meeting people in certain affluent areas because you live in those areas is more common than if you don't find yourself around those group of people. So understand that proximity is going to get you more than just looks alone.
Yeah, I mean, somebody, I think it's some women taking offense to what I'm saying in the comments. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with plus size women or anything like that. You know, what's for you was for you and will always be for you. What I'm just talking about is going after certain groups of men and not understanding that certain groups of men, most of the time, if they're at a certain, like a certain, I guess I would say a certain high percentage of men that are extremely wanted and desirable or whatever, normally they're going to be looking for somebody that is societal wise looking the same way that they do, that's presenting that way. That's the most politically correct way that I can say it. And if you're telling me that, oh, all my life, this certain thing has happened, but you're still not partnered up with somebody, I don't necessarily believe what you're saying, because where are the results of that? Because there are a lot of men that will put their penis in you respectfully, but will not marry you. They will put their penis in you and waste your time for years and then drop you back off where they found you. So dating somebody is not akin to you showing me that a man values you. Not that you can't be married to somebody and he devalue you, but I can guarantee you that if he's not even willing to do that, he definitely doesn't value you at all. Because once again, like I said, babies tie women to men and marriage ties men to women. So I don't really know how to say that and not sound politically. That's why I didn't want to say it, because it seemed like I'm trying to judge women or shame women for their bodies. Like, I think all women are beautiful. Well, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I think all women are beautiful, but I do think all body types are beautiful. I've seen plenty of beautiful plus size women, beautiful BBWs. I've seen beautiful in between mid sized women. I've seen beautiful skinny women. I've seen beautiful women of all body types that I say, oh man, that's a baddie right there. Oh, okay. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about body type, but I'm just saying, like, y'all got to be real about the things that y'all are saying. Like, I've literally seen women that if somebody were to tell her the truth, she's in these comment sections talking about, oh yeah, I'm about to get me a white man like Chris Evans, or a white man like whatever that other dude that played Thor or whatever. I'm gonna get these white men. And I'm looking like, okay, the reality speaking, it's not gonna happen. And I don't know why people are lying to you and telling you that that's more than likely going to be your reality, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be your reality. And I don't think it's wrong to tell someone that and to not allow them to live in delusion. Like, but I don't know. I struggle on how real to be, because I think that some black women are not ready to hear the truth. So I'm not going to say it no more, because I don't want it to seem like I'm hating on nobody, because I'm not. I'm just saying you got to be real in what your expectations are. You have to be real. You can't just think that you're just, I don't know. Never mind. Because I don't know how to package it in a politically correct way without saying it and being looked at like I'm being mean. So
But no,
I,
but
I
that's
don't
the
know how
thing.
to say
Like
it.
if they were in these areas, right, you would see how the rest of the women look. Like if you're looking at, if you, it's like you have to be around these people if you think that you're going to date and you're going to integrate yourself into this, quote unquote community. At the end of the day, look at
But
how the
even
other
with
women look. Look at what the other women are
but
doing. Look at
even
what
with
the other
that
women.
though, but even with that, anti-blackness is a very big thing. It's very prevalent. Anti-blackness, misogynoir. So you have to think about that. You may be that girl. You may be that girl, but you have to fight on so many other avenues as well in your pursuit. And you even have to, so this isn't just like a white man thing. You have to deal with anti-blackness and misogynoir dating black men. So how much more so are you dealing with that when you're pursuing other races of men and other races of men that are in so-called elite circles? Just for him to be an elite circle probably means he's on some bullshit. Just the fact that he's rich probably means he's on some bullshit. So it's like you add all of these extra layers to it, and you have these women who don't even have the fruits of what you're talking about. You have Ashley Dalton that don't have a husband. Then you have Shira Seven that is made a life with somebody else's husband that she was sleeping with, which means he has poor character anyway. You have them telling you about how they're supposed to be. Why would you even listen to them? They don't even have a good examples of what you want. So why are you listening to them? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But I just feel like right now, black women are so lost and confused on what to do because there's so much put on us that it makes black women kind of like not be rational in certain things because there's so much stuff that we have to deal with as black women. That's the reason why some things I just choose not to speak on because I just want to try to focus on things that we can actually mentally accept. But
But I think
anywho,
black
I'm
women,
about to
like,
get off
I
here.
think black women got to get in the field. Like, you have to go and you have to have the experience for yourself. You have to date wisely and safely, but you need to learn for yourself. And you will see, go into these areas, actually go on dates with different people and get it for yourself at the end of the day. Because we can tell you all day, like, what's going to work and what's not going to work, but you're going to have to try it out for yourself at the end of the day.
The truth
So,
is that women of no matter where you come from, is based on social currency, youth, and beauty. That's just the way it is. And the thing
and
is,
intellect though, like beauty,
yes, of
certain, you
course,
can't be dumb in these
of course, you
spaces.
cannot be dumb. That goes without saying. But the truth is that youth and beauty gets you in the door. Your brains keep you that way, and it's not just about weight as far as aesthetics. When a person is shaped, a certain weight, it shows that you have dedication. You're taking care of your body, whether that's true or not. That's the way it's looked at. When somebody sees someone that they think is heavy, they assume they're not healthy. Being thin shows dedication
I don't know about that. I don't
unfortunately.
know about that. I
That's
think
what people
that it's
say.
beyond thinking about that. If y'all want me to be real with my thoughts on white men specifically and their ideas on weight, I think that because white men make up the largest percentage of PDF
Yeah,
files
I was about to
and
say
men
that.
that
I'm like,
watch
it's pedo.
children
That's
and
pedo
like
culture.
children, they like their women to be skinny because it's the closer to a child that
Pre-PDA.
they're gonna be. And that I will never not believe that. That
Yes.
the especially the white men that are very, oh, she needs to be 100 pounds, she needs to be 90 to 100 pounds, like very small, very svelte, very petite. Because all of the black women that I've ever seen that have like that like very skinny body type where they don't have like a lot of breasts at all, no curves, very athletically built, like very tiny, those black women are pursued heavily by white men. And I wholeheartedly believe it's a connection to white men's fascination with youth and children.
And it's the
So
same thing with
that's something
blonde
to
hair,
keep in mind.
Tricks. It's the same
Huh?
thing with blonde hair,
Yeah.
where
I mean, I think
majority
all
of
of that's true.
babies come out blonde and they typically grow darker hair later on. It's you'd be surprised. It is definitely pedo culture that a lot of this stuff is rooted in.
Spotty Yachty, where's the Flower Ranger at? Let me know the name Spotty Yachty and I'll block them. I'll block them right now. Let me know the name Spotty Yachty. But yeah, that's all I'm saying is, yeah, like Rockabella said that they be on you. Yeah. My mom is like, see, I'm 5'11", so like I'm extremely tall. My mom is like 5'4", extremely petite. They used to be all over her like white on rice. Like you have, excuse me, I'm married. Get away from me. Like, there's a reason for that. But people don't want to talk about that. There's a reason why. I can't say what other races on what they think about weight and stuff like that. But I wholeheartedly believe that white men's connection to wanting extremely petite women, and this isn't all white men that are on that, but the white men that are on that, yeah, I would say 8 times out of 10, it has something to do with that because they make the highest numbers up of stuff like that. Okay, y'all said Jenna 94. Hold on, let me find Jenna 94. And then I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Yeah,
No, I
in your
believe
yes,
white men, and actually, that's not the reason. The reason why they really do go after thin women, because usually in their women are flabby. They have to be thin. If the bigger they are, the more gelatinous and more flabby they are. If their women were firm, they wouldn't have a problem with it. And I've had a million of them say that. They like women that
Yeah,
have,
I don't necessarily agree with
But
that because
70% of
you're
white
a
women
black
well,
woman.
I don't
You're a
are
know because
black
I'm
woman.
overweight.
Asian, so I
They're not
know.
telling you what they really think and their thoughts on anything. Like you're a black person. Like they're not gonna tell you exactly what they truly believe about the women in their community ever. Like you're a black woman. Like I don't believe that.
I've even had white women say like, I have to stay thin. I wish I could be your size, but as soon as I gain, everything is flabby. Like we have more muscle mass. That's why we look solid. We could be 160 pounds at 5'3" and not look flabby. It's different on a white woman. So that's why
Okay.
they have to stay thin.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I disagree with that, but you're
I know
welcome
I
to your
dated
opinion.
white men more than any people on this panel. I would know.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think that would give you a right to know that particular instance on why white men are doing what they're doing because you're not a white man. Now, if you were a white man, then I could take into account what you're saying, but you're not. You're a black woman. So, I'm what white man is going to tell you to your face that you're closer to a child or women are closer to a children when they're really skinny, and that's what I like to see.
You
No
can't
one's going to tell
predict
you that.
that either, though. We will never know what's the percentage of
I
them.
mean, we'll
I'm
know
not
that
defending
the
them, but
highest
I'm just saying, I know.
we'll know that the highest percentage of child predators are white men. We'll know that the highest percentage of men that attack their own children in their own home sexually are white men. We'll know that 85% of people that produce child abuse material and consume it and watch it are white males. So that can tell you a whole lot right there. Just like we break down statistics and can apply them to the psyche of black men, we can also look at statistics and apply them to the psyche of white males as well.
And why
So
wouldn't you
yeah,
think to draw like what their preferences are wouldn't be at least a remnant of that?
yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like even if it's not 100%, like I agree, Trick. Like it's it's not
I don't
100%,
think it's every white
but
man.
it's like how can you not factor that in as a contributing factor of what their preferences are? Especially when that most likely all of those characteristics are rooted in children. Like women aren't naturally this like super thin. Children are.
I
It's
mean,
just like it's just
I'm not defending them, but I think
no.
that
I
the
don't. It don't sound like you're defending them. I'm just
I'm
saying.
definitely not.
I think trying to say that their purposes is rooted in just being fit means that you take care of yourself. I
I'm
think that's a surface level when it. I don't think it speaks exactly to all like the whole nature of what we're seeing the patterns of white men.
60% of black women are S age, and obviously, who's the culprit? So I think that whole thing
Yeah,
about
but when they're
PDS
children, right?
goes.
That's
No,
before
it's
they're
not with their
18.
children. No, it's all the way up to the
No, it's
age.
65% before the age of 18. That's the set.
Well, and who's doing it? So I think that PDF goes across the board. Not
Right,
defending
but
them.
I mean, but saying that, right? I think
Okay,
you're
see, and
deflecting
let me
now.
just say this.
That's strange.
Yeah, I do find this to be
That's
a little
weird.
weird, but once
It's not
again,
weird
I'm
that
just
you're not understanding
No,
it.
you're weird to deflect to black men when we're talking about
yeah,
white
yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
You're assuming that. See, that's the problem. We have to
Okay,
be.
no, nobody's assuming. That's exactly what you're doing. Don't gaslight anybody on here. That's exactly what you're doing. Okay, there's no way. Just like, and this is sometimes when I don't like to have conversations with black women with white husbands because you have no problem with us coming up here and reading black men for filth and talking about all the things that black men do. There was no deflection when we were talking about black men. You ain't bring up no, oh, but the white men do that too. You never said none of that. But as soon as we start talking about white men and really getting on white men, now you want to come up with, oh, it's not really like that. Oh, let's talk about the black men that do it. Oh, let's talk about this, that, and the third. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I don't know if I'm really gonna talk to y'all
Actually, I
again.
was being positive.
Please don't unmute yourself. Like I said, if you want to go somewhere and you want white men to be pedestalized or you want us to pretend that white men don't have just as many issues as black men, you got to go somewhere where there are white male worshipers at. And this is what I have to say about black women. I think that there are a lot of black women that are male centered. There are a lot of black women that are black male worshipers. And the black women that divest away to white men, they never unpack that worshiping quality that they have. And so what they do is they stop the black male worship, but they go right on to the white men and start worshiping them instead. And that's a sad, embarrassing thing to do because there's no way you're not going to deflect. You're going to deflect. and talk about black men when we're talking about white men and their propensity to abuse children, to touch children, to look at child abuse material, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can cope, you can say what you want to say about black men all day, but you will never change the facts that white men do that the most. This isn't to say that black men don't do it, that black men won't touch a kid, that black men won't do any of those things, because they will. All I'm saying is that white men do it too, and they do it even more often. And you know that it's bad because white people do try to skew statistics. And this is a statistic that they cannot skew. That if you look it up, you find it very readily. It's very readily available, because that means that they're even doing it even more than you think. That it's impossible for you to avoid seeing that truth. Because white people like to keep their dirt hidden and in the dark. So that's all I'm saying. But you notice that lady left as soon as we started talking about this. And I find that to be very weird. Like, very, very, very strange. Like, you sat up here and wanted to talk all of this trash about black men, which is fine. You know, we always have a good kiki and talk about black men, right? Which is not a problem. I'm not defending them. But you want to interject when we try to have a kiki about white men? Girl, if you don't get your buck broken behind off my page, this is not the page for you.
We
I
had
gotta
a
find that
white
lady
man
name.
worshiper on the panel the whole time. I didn't know it.
The whole time. Like, that's crazy. I gotta find that lady name so I can block her permanently. If any of my admins are still in the chat, could y'all find Ethereal in the comments and please block her?
It's
Please.
certain stuff that you see. That's why I really enjoy watching your channel, and I wish that you would do some of those lives for the people like me and some of the young girls who need to hear these conversations that you say you don't be wanting to touch on. But I wish that women like you existed, you know, to tell the real stuff that you be told, oh, go stay in a child's place and get out of the rooms. This is the type of stuff that women need to hear and young girls need to hear to not make jacked up decisions, because it runs so deep. It's so many layers to this stuff. I had already kind of peeped that something was off with her by what she was saying in the comments. And I'm coming up here saying, hey, like, I'm not trying to offend nobody and stuff like that, and appreciating your channel and just some of the stuff she was saying. But this isn't my channel. I don't want to start nothing. I don't come up here for stuff like that. But I just kind of peeped something was off. So to you, I appreciate your channel, your message, and what you're doing. And I really hope that you would start touching on a lot of those things that you say you don't want to talk about, because it's real people out here and it's young girls that need to hear this stuff. We're not taught about male nature and male behavior first before you start dating, so that you can make an executive decision. And you speak on a lot of that stuff here, and a lot of your people that come up here do sometime as well. So thank you for that.
Let me say this to you. As a woman a black woman that has tried to speak to young women, they tell you you don't know what you're talking about. They tell you, oh, you've been married X number of years, you don't have the experience, dating is different, this is that. So you cannot speak to them, you just have to leave them alone.
I understand that. And I have like a lot of little cousins and stuff that are hard-headed, and women that come on my channel. I completely understand that. But for me and some people that I know, like some young women that I know, it did help. It touches somebody. It may not be touching everybody, but it helps. Sometimes you're in an environment where nobody is talking about this stuff. Nobody's being real. And like I keep saying, from us being young girls, we're just, love and romance is pushed. Just loving stuff outside of yourself is being pushed from a very young age. So it's like you're never able to have an opportunity to hear stuff like this to try to make an executive decisions. And now the internet is more popular nowadays than it was back in the day. So I don't know. I know young girls and stuff that it does help, but I get what you're saying.
I'm gonna say, you guys, in the comments, like, it was somebody, I already blocked them though. They was calling me a racist. I'm pretty sure that was probably a white person. And even if it was a black person, I don't think black people normally use that against other black people. So I'm assuming that it was a white person. So I just want y'all to know something. And I've already said this a million times. Well, I wish that white people would understand one fundamental thing. Now, when a black person calls you a racist, you probably get in your feelings about it because it means something to you. Like, a white person calling me a racist means absolutely nothing. If anything, I would say, okay, great, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? The things that y'all have done historically to not just black people, but to every demographic across the entire globe, but more specifically to black people. And I'm a black American person, okay? An FBA individual. Y'all have done unconscious, ungodly things to black people here. Do you think I care if you call me a racist? Do you think that I care if you say that I don't like y'all? Because I don't like y'all. Collectively, I do not like y'all. Y'all cannot be trusted as a collective. Now, could there be some individuals of y'all that are out there that are cool? Fine. Maybe I can give you that. I don't speak in absolutes. But collectively, no, I don't like y'all and I don't trust y'all. And y'all calling me a racist means absolutely nothing because I would have to care what y'all think first. I would have to care about your perspective first. I would have to care about anything that y'all got going on, and I do not. The only reason why I even know the statistics that I know about y'all is to combat the racist things that y'all say about black people. Other than that, I wouldn't even never even dare to look at anything that y'all have going on in y'all communities. That's how much I don't care about y'all. So call me a racist if you want. It does not hit like anything. It doesn't hit like anything because it means nothing. The reason why when I call y'all a racist, it means something to y'all is because y'all still deeply, deeply care about what black people have to say. And y'all are always in black people's business. So y'all care about that. That's the reason why it means something to y'all. But literally nothing that y'all say means nothing to me. Y'all could call me a porch monkey, jigaboo, anything on this app, and I wouldn't care. Now, if you say it in my face, that's another type of thing. You'll be picking up your teeth. But if you say it here on the line, I don't care. I don't care what y'all say. And I just want to make this clear. I do not care. And one thing I do not tolerate is white male worship. If I'm not tolerating black male worship and I'm talking all day about how black women should stop worshiping black men, you think I'm going to tolerate white male worship? I don't tolerate worshiping no man on this app and in my spaces. That's one thing that I'm really against. And I'm really against coonery. Coonery. Just like that weirdo black woman that was up here. Like you over here you want to join in the fun on dragging black men. But then when we talk about your white zaddy, your white king, now you gotta put on your defense mode. Like, ew. Ew. If the live is skipping,
She
it's
had the cape ready.
she had the cape ready, but I gotta end this live, y'all, because they said the live is skipping, which means it's probably either the black women that are on the exact same time that Ethereal was on, or the white tea people then found the live. And I just want y'all to know, if y'all report me, forget y'all. Y'all are exactly what I thought y'all were. Because I don't ever see y'all reporting these MAGA lives. These lives where they drag black women for filth. I saw a live with black men talking about how white women were superior. That live was filled with white women talking about black women's hair, talking about black women's bodies and everything else. I ain't see y'all reporting that. Y'all, that live went on for hours and hours and hours. Y'all ain't report that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, you guys. I'm gonna block a couple of people I see in my chat box, and then I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I see a white person right now. You're blocked. Talking about following me, but goodbye, sir. Yeah, he was probably one of them. So let me get rid of him. Let's see here. Here's another man. Let me block him. You're gone. Let me see. I see another man in here. You.
Oh, sure. I say one more thing for you in the live.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just blocking some
Oh,
people.
okay. I didn't think y'all can hear me. For any woman, whether you're older or younger, I just want to end with this. Try to tap back into what you love. Like, what did you like when you were younger? What type of things make you happy on a soul level? Because there's so much stuff going on in the world that it's like a lot of distractions that's pulling us away from ourself and the types of things that genuinely make us happy. So if it don't matter if you're going to date, you're going to be celibate, whatever you do, I'm not trying to push anybody in any direction. Just tap into what makes you happy on a soul level. I started back piano. I started back dancing. I started back doing a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't remember that I liked or loved since I was a little girl. So I don't know. I just wanted to leave with that.
All right, I got you. Did any of you other ladies, y'all have anything to say before I get out of here? Gabrielle, you have anything to say?
Nope, no, I didn't have anything. I think this was a great live, and I'm definitely glad that we got to hear different perspectives. And I would 100% agree with you that no race of man should be worshipped or pedestalized. So that was pretty much it from me.
All right.
Same. Yeah, no, same. Great live as usual. Center yourself, pedestalize yourself. And you good.
Yep, and I agree. And I just want to say, Black women, I think that Black women are beautiful, amazing human beings, the top of the top of the top. Black women hold the top spot in my eyes. I really do love Black women. I really do care for Black women. I really do. That doesn't mean that we won't have some back and forth sometime. It doesn't mean that I'll always agree with everything that, some Black women say or do. But it does mean that the love is there. And I think that Black women can be happy alone, by themselves, single women, be the sexy auntie that's just traveling the world. Or you could also be a mother. You could be a wife. There's nothing wrong with that either. The only problem is just making sure that you choose a man that can add to your life rather than take from it. So regardless of who you choose, whether he's Black, whether he's white, whether he's Asian, whatever he is, I just want you as a Black woman to be with someone that prizes you, puts you on a pedestal and prizes you and looks at you as the amazing woman that you are, that I know you to be. Because I know every single solitary Black woman that I've come across, even if I have not agreed with them, even if we have disagreements, all of us are beautiful. All of us have worth and value. And that's all I'm saying. And so regardless of who you choose, just make sure that that man is treating you in the way that you deserve to be treated, according to whatever standards that you have for him, and make sure that you never back down on those standards. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to tell you to stay with Black men. I'm not telling you not to go with white men. I'm not telling you not to go with Asian men. I'm telling you to choose who is the best candidate for you. Don't look at his color of the color of his skin. Look at how he is treating you and how he loves you. That's all I'm saying, y'all. I love y'all and I hope that y'all have a great day. And yeah, that's it. And please never, as a Black woman, put white tea men or white tea men on a pedestal, because they will never do the same for you. They will never do the same for you. So what do you look like doing something for them they would never do for you collectively? That's all I'm saying. So I love y'all. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all weekend, okay? Love y'all and appreciate all the ladies that came up on the live and all the ladies that were in the chat too. I appreciate all of y'all. Thanks so much. And thanks to my moderators too. Thanks, Fashion Prima Donna, and thanks, Kalandra. Appreciate y'all. All right, I'll see y'all later.